Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our very last day of NA Div 2 DPC, excluding tiebreakers. I have to add that one on there because there will be tiebreakers no matter what. But today, we do have one series, one very exciting series, and to help me with it is going to be Gods, Waga, Breaky, and my own little puppy dog here, Percy. But how are
Hi,
you,
Percy.
Break? Hi. He's so cute. Look at him. He's a little bit sick, so he's just like constantly sitting around me. But I'll ask you guys how you guys are going, Gods. What's been the plan for today? How have you been?
I've been good. It's just been a pretty chill day. You know, usually we start a bit early in the day for NA Dota, so I've had to, eagerly await this series. But yeah, doing good. Always happier when I get to see and spend time with dogs, so I feel like this kind of counts as that.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, you have my dog, and then we also have Dog Champ today. So, Breaky, which dog's better? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dog Champ is pretty up there. But between Dog Champ and Fart Studios, we'll have a chat about them later. But for right now, Waga, we want to have a chat about what happened yesterday because it was a pretty insane day of Dota. It was a very long day as well. We had 3 best of 3s going on. It started off with Ant versus Eternity, and that series, it went away. Not a lot of people would have expected. We saw Eternity pick up their first win, Waga.
Yeah, that was some crazy late game stuff as well happening there. That was very unexpected to me as well. I didn't, really count Eternity to have some really good showing there, or some fun games as well. But yeah, yesterday was pretty action-packed in all the series.
Yeah, very much so. Hopefully we can get those replays coming up soon. But out of all the series, I got to ask Gods because he was here at the end of the day, but I didn't get to ask you Waga or Breaky. But Waga, if you could go back and you could only watch one of the series, which one would it be?
I wasn't actually there for the start of the Eternity series. So I only got to watch the second half of the second game and the third game. So I actually didn't get to see the first game. I probably will go back and watch that later because I want to see it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I can ask God some questions about this one because you were casting it, Gods. But and Eternity, it felt like a very different 2 teams than what we had seen for the last few weeks here of Div 2 and DPC.
Yeah, this, I think, just being the last day and the teams not really having a lot to play for, we saw some of, I think, Ant's worst Dota, unfortunately. But with that said, they put together some solid drafts and managed to still get the 2-1 win. But it was kind of good to see, obviously Eternity take game 2, but all 3 games were very tightly contested, had some fun picks. This game we got to see a mid-dazzle absolutely wreck a Pengo in the mid lane. So yeah. Eternity had some fun ideas. The carry Marcy as well this game from Karwa was absolutely popping off. So just all around very fun action-packed series. You'll see really high kill scores in all 3 games. Unfortunately, for Eternity, they couldn't get the game 3 win, so it was Ant who got the win. And this could potentially get Ant 3rd place. So even though it wasn't the prettiest Dota from them, they may end up in that 3rd place prize money.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't have to be the prettiest or the cleanest. As long as it's enjoyable and garners yourself a win, that's all that really matters. And they did end up closing it out here for Ant with 2 wins and Eternity. It's just that micro win again. I got to praise it. It was such a good game too. It was very enjoyable to watch. I think yesterday was actually one of my favorite days overall for NA Div 2. So the next series, it was just as enjoyable, just as exciting. It was the Cut versus Dog Champ, because Dog Champ proving once again just how unbeatable, how unstoppable they really are, Breaky.
Yeah, absolutely. And, obviously we expect that momentum to carry in what's going to be their final series today. Can they stay undefeated? That's the ultimate question. But against the Cut, they certainly lived up to those expectations that we've come to grow to know about. And I will say this, again, about their roster, about their mid-player RCY. Obviously, all the attention that he's been getting, deservingly so. Definitely a big-time player in the making. They showed, though, as a team that they are more than just RCY. As a team, they look really strong. They know how to adapt with their strategy. from the draft as well as the itemization. And that was a big thing about yesterday's series that at least stood out to me. They know how to play efficiently and how to adapt in these games.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see from a team, especially a team that is up there going up to Division 1. We want a nice, strong team to make NA Div 1 competitive, and DogChamp really looked like that, Lager.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you couldn't really ask for much more of a dominant performance here in Div 2. They definitely, look like they're just one step ahead of every other team here. Teams have shown some interesting ideas for how to try and tackle them. Like yesterday, we saw all that attention onto the mid lane, trying to shut down RCY and see if they could maybe get a good game against them then. But like Breaky said, they're definitely looking like a team that is more, it's more than just a sum of its parts. They have good teamwork, they have good ideas, they have good execution. And like the players said themselves in the interview, they just think that they're a little bit better at knowing where to be on the map and when. They have that understanding.
Yeah, and that's a very big strength. We're moving on to our third series, Felt versus Penguin Squad. This series also went to 3 games, and in a fashion not a lot of people were expecting. Penguin Squad ended up winning this series. They had a stand-in. Both teams did have stand-ins, but Penguin Squad stand-in was just so amazing. Kid there on the Shadow Fiend for game number 1 looked fantastic. And when we do see the highlights for game number 2, they ended up pulling out an Alchemist.
Yeah, the Alk unfortunately didn't work out. We were kind of hyped to see it because it was the first Alk of all Div 2, one of the few unpicked heroes left. But yeah, Penguin Squad, they didn't just take the 3 games, getting the full upset, doing what Eternity couldn't quite do. It definitely rounded out like an amazing day of Dota where multiple series went 3 games. We saw these underdog teams really put up good fights, and the fact Penguin Squad actually walked away with the win is huge for them. It kept them alive. They were facing elimination should they lose this series, and they beat one of the top 2 teams. So it was such an amazing result for them. Game 3, they pulled out some really kind of unique picks, and not like super crazy, but stuff we haven't seen as much, like Monkey King and the Timbersaw. I think the Monkey King particularly caused a lot of problems in the early laning stage, but it really was Kid once again playing the TA. He was a stand-in, but he looked like the star player of this team in the 2 games they were winning.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but the team just worked so fantastic with him coming and standing in. I am excited to see them, not today, but tomorrow when we do have those tiebreakers. But it was just a really amazing showing from Penguin Squad. I just don't know what else to say because this team, fantastic. Something that hasn't been consistent, or something that we have been able to say too much for the Div 2 for them. But the leaderboard, DogChamp, no matter what happens today, will be taking first place. Then it is going to be Felt and Ant. Then the Fart Studios is where the big question mark is. Right now they are sitting 4th on the leaderboard, but it could change up at any moment. And then we see 5th, 6th, 7th. They are all tied. 3 wins, 4 losses. That's C-Dub, The Cut, and Penguin Squad. So right now, no matter what happens between the series today, there is that at least guaranteed 3-way tiebreaker between those 3 teams I just mentioned. And then when we have our completion of today, our series between DogChamp and Fart Studios, once it's done, we will know if Fart Studios will be in the mix for relegation or if they're going to be battling out against Ant for that 3rd, 4th slot there. And guys, it's high. This is a fantastic way to sort of end out NA DPC Div 2 breaky.
It is, and it's not, unfortunately, it's not leading into the very epic, what could have been, they're battling for a chance to go to Division 1, but
sure.
Hey, it is setting up for those tiebreakers tomorrow, as you're pointing out, and again, as you broke down so well right there, they are playing for some good money as well, and I keep going back to, $1,000 difference, whatever, but let's be honest, that's a good chunk of change, especially for these teams that are in this Division 2 here, gaming, and certainly going to be giving it their all to try to, jump up that leaderboard. But again, especially if it's a 4-way tie, I mean, one of those 4 teams will be eliminated or will have to, re-earn their spot here in Division 2 going into next season. So that's certainly something to keep in mind as well.
it just goes to show it doesn't matter how well you start. Like, you could have a fantastic week 1, but if your week 2 and 3 don't hit that same sort of stride, you can end up in this position where you are still tie-breaking, you're still battling it out for that, trying to stay in. You don't want to be that person taking the last relegated slot. But our one and only series today, Dog Champ up against Fart Studios. So let's have a bit of a chat about these two teams, Waga. The odds very much favoring Dog Champ. Would you be that heavily favored, Dog Champ? Do you think they're going to go fully undefeated? It's just going to be another 2-0 today?
I think with the overall performance of Fart Studios here in Div 2, I would agree. But they only towards the end of their playthrough here started playing with Monkeys Forever, who is, a very talented player who brings a lot to the table when it comes to the draft. He is a specialist, which is lovely to have when you're looking to draft heroes, and especially some of those heroes are super strong right now. He is one of the best Broodmothers that I know. He's, Broodmother is a very strong hero in the current patch, so you have to respect that. I think he adds a lot of dimensions to the team, or at least frees up a bit the drafting stage.
Yeah, that's a good point. Monkeys Forever standing in with them the last series that we saw them play, and that gave them a 2-0 up against the cut. So it was a fantastic showing. My only question mark now is what's happening with Jenkins? Because I know that he's working the major, and if they still have to do tiebreakers no matter what, they're going to be in tomorrow. Yeah, what? No. And then, he's going to be in tiebreakers no matter what tomorrow. So I'm excited to see what happens for Fart Studios here, like what's going to happen going forward. But still looking at just now, Dog Champ are also going to be having a standing gods. They're going to have Giant standing in against Viaran.
Yeah, Giants played some series already with them, or at least he played the most recent 2 series earlier this week. So not sure whether he's like a new permanent player or, going to be taking over for Yaren, but he's looked really good. He's kind of an NA pub veteran. He's been around the scene for a little while, hasn't made a big name for himself, but he looked perfectly fine playing with them. He's played on the Cup before on 5 Rat 4 stuff, so he's got some good competitive Dota experience, and I think he is being a good pickup, or at least a good stand-in for them so far.
Yeah, it's nice to see teams still really succeed even with a stand-in, because that can change up so much. But both of these teams are either being consistent, if not a little bit better with their stand-ins. And we can have a look at what else is consistent on their teams. We can have a player comparison. We can compare their position ons, their carries, the people who should be taking these teams to the victory. It's FSJ and Yuma for Fart Studios and Dog Champ, respectively, Breaky.
The great Fart SJ, the brother of BSJ. No, it's obviously, when it comes to him as a player, a great streamer, a solid player himself, a solid carry player, and certainly good to see him a part of Division 2 here. But Yuma, to me, has certainly been the really fun one to watch, because, again, I keep going back to it's a lot of attention on RCY, but Yuma, especially in yesterday's series, and really all throughout Division 2, has shown he can certainly be that carry player, and also a very diverse carry player. Playing heroes like Queen of Pain is showing there, more aggressive, looking for kills, but also playing the Terrorblade, and, more of those traditional hard carries that you rely on them farming and then eventually taking over as well. And to that point, his Terrorblade yesterday was still a bit aggressive and over the top, and worked out very well for them. So he's become a fun player to watch for me.
Yeah, definitely. And, then you have Fart SJ Gods, who's gone back and done very traditional, out of meta carries. What we saw, the Phantom Lancer, a Juggernaut. What else has been crazy on his list?
Medusa, Slark.
That's it.
PA is probably one of the crazier ones, actually.
Yeah.
He's kind of picking, like the heroes that were meta 3 or 4 years ago. He's, had a couple games here and there on some more meta stuff, like the Nature's Prophet, but he lost both Nature's Prophet games. He looked on Bloodseeker, but he's definitely someone who has a very big hero pool, I think, just because he's been around so long. He played so many pub games. He's, coaching all the time, pubbing all the time. Like, hero pool is not really an issue for him, but he does seem to feel more comfortable on some of these slightly less meta heroes, so maybe that's going to be a bit of an issue, especially, they won with the Medusa, but I don't think you can rely on these heroes when it comes into a draft. Like, you can only pick it when it's like the perfect Medusa game, perhaps.
Yeah, just because you get a win with the hero, it doesn't mean that's the hero that caused the win. So there's always like a little bit of a grain of salt to take with heroes and with stat wins and whatnot. But Wagga Draft here on our screen, do you feel that Dog Champ are going to have to ban out that brood that you suspected, and Fight Studios maybe have to then ban the Lena themselves, or where are these opening bans going to sit?
It's a little bit what approach they want to take. I like what Fart Studios are doing, though, banning out both the Italiano Gangstar Beastmaster, which he has performed extremely well on, probably the sharpest, perhaps. One of the most dominant, at least, Beastmasters we've seen here. Also, Lena, just a very standard ban. Dog Champ, though, if they want to ban out the Brood, it's an option, but there's still the Brewmaster available, and Fart Studios are happy to go into that. So the fact that they're banning the Death Prophet in phase 1 here, respecting I Annihilate, but also Monkeys could play it on the offlane. I think maybe they just let both through, and that's what they're going to do.
Okay. So you can get one or the other, They can't pick up both the Brood and the Brood, but it is going to be the Brood mother for them, gods.
Yeah, it's definitely a brave decision. I think because they're getting the Beastmaster in return, they don't mind it. I think they maybe feel, we ban Brood, they pick Beast, and then they get the better opening. But there's a lot of various opening heroes that can feel really potent here. You kind of have to pick your poison a bit, and maybe coming into the final series, Dog Champ's like, it's a Monkey's Brood, but we feel like we can build a game plan for this, and let's, at least with game 1, test if we can beat it.
I like it. And we'll see what Dog Champ do have up their sleeves to try and beat that Brood. So the Pango, what else would you like to see paired with a Reiki?
Just, your typical support option. Obviously, Rubik is still on the board, has certainly been a very popular hero. And now we were talking about that yesterday. It is the most picked. Not necessarily the highest win percentage, though, is in the 30s, the mid-30s, I want to say, and especially for your number 1 picked hero in a tournament. Obviously, that's a little bit discouraging and maybe a sign of maybe overdone. But, Rubik already here certainly wouldn't be a bad option, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them go that. But for Dog Champ, they are a little more unique, too, when it comes to their drafting, where they do like to draft RCY's hero in the first 2. We saw that yesterday's series. We've been talking about that throughout this whole tournament. Whether it's the Ember Spirit, the Pango, they don't really care about getting countered. They will pick it up from early, and he still does well. And that means Italiano Gangster, a lot of his heroes do continue to get banned, and he has to stretch a little further from that offlane role. But interesting thing to note. But there's the Rubik.
10 seconds remaining.
I think the nice thing here too with first phasing Pango is, absolute worst case scenario, let's say Fart Studios pick some horrible mid matchup, you can still flex it to the offlane. It's not a good offlane here. It's generally almost always a mid, and it is an RCY classic. But you don't really want to go all in on some counter pick, and also picking your mid plus a Brood in the first phase almost tips too much of your hand if you're Fart Studios. So more likely, they're gonna just pick something try and balance out their draft a bit more rather than reveal their entire game plan by picking a mid here. Instead, they pick a carry. This actually I like quite a lot. The Bloodseeker versus Pangolier causes a lot of problems.
Yeah, they go for the Pango counter immediately. And I like that a lot more than if they were to show mid. So they still have a lot of options as well for pairings into either of these lineups. The Bloodseeker and the Broodmother both can work well with so many different heroes. Brood is sort of independent in laning stage very quickly. You help her level 1 to level 3 or so, but then you really just want to leave her and let her get level 6. So we'll see what Fart Studios want to go for. Over on the side of Dog Champ, I think when you have Rubik and Pango like this, maybe adding something like Spirit Breaker even could be nice in this game against the Broodmother, a way to chase her down, catch her even more easily.
Can we stop analyzing the draft and they just went away from it? But what the heck is Monkeys wearing? I know we all saw that. He's got
go back to his
go back to the
play
tape.
cam.
Yeah, they'll show it eventually, but I love that guy. He's so fun to watch and just entertaining. Anyway, sorry. Resume with the draft.
Until we see Monkey's cam again.
Yes.
Yeah, is there much more? I was going to say, is there much more to say about the fact that it's now a Visage and Enigma? What other zoos or summon sort of offlaners can they be taking out and really punish Italiano Gangster.
It goes back to the point that this is where, a lot of teams, they may pick up that off lane early on, like we see here on Far Studios, not Dogchamp though. So Italiano Gangster is the one that kind of, if you want to say, suffers in that sense, where his hero pool has to be a bit deeper. But yeah, the Visage, the Enigma, certainly heroes he could have played too. Lycan is still on the board. That one that comes to mind if you want to go that direction, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's curious to see what they're gonna go into. I mean, there's even like Furion has still made it through, right? So he's something that you can still look towards on that offlane. Still very potent. The Aghanims can be great for catching people as well, and his laning stage is quite strong. You would be laning into a Bloodseeker if you pick it up for Dogchamp here, and that's a little bit rough perhaps. He doesn't take so much damage from the Treants, but still definitely an option.
And now I see what you talk about with Monkey's Cam.
He says how serious he is what really makes it for me. This dude is just sitting here so focused, and and I might age myself a little bit right here, but Hey Arnold. I mean, you know the show, right? We all know that show. It kind of reminds me of there was an episode in there. He was wearing that banana costume. Yeah.
I can't say I recall that episode, but I do know the show.
Don't leave me alone. People in Twitch chat will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I could pinpoint the episode exactly, but I know the show you were talking about, definitely.
Disappointed. Yeah, that's
I'm
good at
sorry.
least, yeah. Hey, Naga Siren Band, yeah.
Yeah, that's just a very common ban when you play both these heroes, actually. Bloodseeker and Broodmother both kind of struggle against Naga, especially Broodmother. It's one of the hardest carries to go against. She just doesn't take any harassment really from Brood, and the Ensnare is very good against her later on. So Dogchamp go with a very active pick here, adding in the Dawnbreaker. They can play this support, but they can also use it as a carry if they want. It's a good carry against Broodmother in laning stage.
10 seconds
What would make you favor her being carry over a support in this sort of lineup, Wagga? Or would you actually favor the support over carry?
I think maybe I would prefer, just by Dogchamp and how they play in general, to have that as your carry here. Because Dogchamp, we saw the comparison between the teams earlier, right? And Dogchamp just close out their games so much faster. And if you're going to do that, then Dawnbreaker is a fantastic carry to have. On average, like there was the player comparison between Yuma and Fartesjay, and on average he has like 12,000 net worth less or something, and like way less hero damage as well. But that's just because all their games were decided so early. Dogchamp know how to close out the game, and that is when it speaks for having a Dawn core.
Yeah, and even throughout the tour, in achieving that, he's played some kind of unconventional heroes. Like, he played Pudge in that last game. He's played Magnus. He's played safe lane, I think, Queen of Pain, Marcy. Like, he's playing these heroes that just naturally don't just want to sit back and farm. They play more as, like, 2 or 3 position heroes at times.
Dire team pick.
1 hour Hoodwink coming out. That's going to be Anushin's hero on the side of Fart Studios, Breaky.
Yeah, no surprise here. Nisham definitely a hero he's comfortable with, and Hoodwink has overall seen some decent success throughout this tournament. And personally, I've grown on too, and just that solo kill potential. It does fit the theme of having a Bloodseeker as well. These heroes that want to run at you and get kills quickly. So I will say, really noticing though that because they went with a double core opening, they are kind of pigeonhole themselves into having to go a couple of supports here with a 3 and the 4 spot. Not as ideal, but it's going to be a Tusk as well. So there is flex potential there, but I would lean towards a support Tusk right now.
10 seconds.
Yeah, Tusk is kind of nice as a support here, I think, as well. Some of the save that Tusk has can be very useful against Dawnbreaker and Pango, I feel. Dawn with a very slow Q, you can snowball pick someone up and dodge the stun. And it gives them more disable, which they needed. When you run Bloodseeker and Broodmother, they needed to add some good stunts. And Hoodwink and Tusk, they kind of round out that part of the draft.
Do Dogchamp pick up their offlaner here to keep the flex of Dawn still available, gods?
I would like that, especially when you see your matchup. I guess the question is, we talk about Dawnbreaker as a carrier support. The hero can also be an offlaner. So they're going to have to reveal something where, I don't think Dawnbreaker's the offlane. I think it's more likely to be one of the other 2 positions. So I'm kind of on board with what you're suggesting, pick an offlaner to go with the Rubik. Mostly you're looking at some of those, melee offlaners. Like, if you want the Lycan, it gives you some good pushing potential, particularly if you want to run Dawn carry with Pengo mid. You don't have the best objective taking, so having some kind of a zoo type hero for the offlane looks good, but completely different approach. They go Centaur. All right.
Yeah, so this is just chain stun city, right? Dogchamp, look at their lineup. They have so much chain stunning going on and a lot of control. Also that Centaur, possibility. Yesterday we saw Centaur used as a disengage. Here, I think this is much more Centaur for engaging, catching, being aggressive, more so than what we had yesterday where it was a save and a disengage.
Yeah, as I was going to say, I mean, Centaur, clearly a very valuable pick for them yesterday. And it's not that zoo-like hero that, we expect to see a lot of these offlaners play, and Italiano Gangster no different, but certainly some respectable presence here that he's going to bring. And, yeah, I like the idea that using that Stampede more aggressively from this lineup could be fun to watch.
First years of the hard part of, what do they really ban here? Where is everything going for Dogchamp? But a Nature's Prophet, a Crystal Maiden. So they think the Tusk is going to go mid.
Yeah, they're thinking it's a core Tusk, which is definitely an option as well, that this is just mid Tusk against Pango, which is an okay matchup for sure. It's not super favored one way or the other. Tusk does fine on it. And that could be completely correct. I mean, it's not often that you have the last pick CM, or like support heroes like that, but it certainly works. And that's the flex that Fart Studios have left themselves with here.
Yeah, they both could pick up their position 5s as the last pick, or they both could pick up a carry and then a mid laner. There's a lot that could still be done here with both drafts.
Yeah, and I think for Fart Studios especially, like picking your support as the last pick is not a big deal because it's not like you have last pick of the overall draft. I think it'd be a bit more unusual for Dogchamp to do that. When you have final pick, you're usually looking to get a counter pick mid or some last pick carry offlaner that like wins you the game. For Fart Studios, like they may have just wanted to secure Tusk as a mid laner, expecting it to perhaps get banned out because there's something, Iannihilate has played once already. He won very convincingly on it when they played against C-Dub earlier in Division 2. So maybe just something they saw. You have Bloodseeker Brood. You need a mid laner who's like active making plays for around the Brood or even around the Bloodseeker, since neither of those heroes is like a big playmaker.
Yeah. There's something funny though about like banning the CM and then they go back and ban the Backrider afterwards. So it's kind of like they're banning, this support would really suck, but also if you flex and do the other way around, let's ban this. It's going to be Winter Wyvern last pick coming out.
That could still be mid though.
Yeah, exactly.
If they wanted to go crazy.
Annihilate could definitely pull that off. I could see that. So even into the last pick here for Dogchamp, they don't have full information on what's going on from Fart.
I love it. I'm loving these drafts.
Wyvern pick kind of came out of nowhere. Usually this hero is picked up like specifically because the curse like can kind of hard counter something. Yeah, there's a Pengo roll that you can use it on, but it's not like there's that like mass summon zoo strat.
There's one thing. Yeah? The Dawnbreaker ulti is massive to use it on because she jumps in on top of people when she jumps in. So it's usually very easy to counter the Dawnbreaker with Wyvern. I would say. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, that's fine. That's fine. That's good to bring up.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to bring up? Because Morphling, last pick for Dogchamp here. So Bloody Nine is going to end up on support Dawnbreaker. They shifted to that way and they last pick a carry for themselves. And it is just going to be Jenkins on the Winter Wyvern. So nothing too crazy, even though there was potential for it. It's actually pretty stock standard, gods.
Yeah, in the end, especially Dogchamp's draft looks like a pretty typical draft. The morph carry we haven't seen too much of. It does put Yuma on more of a traditional slower pace farming carry, but I think I kind of like that with their draft. They've got RCY playing his signature Pengo. I think all in all, their draft just looks really solid, and there's a bit of pressure on Fart Studios to really snowball off of Brood, hitting level 6, taking the tier 1 tower, taking over the enemy jungle, and not really ever giving Morphling kind of a chance to farm and hit his item timings.
Okay. Well, look, I could ask Wagger and Breaky about this game, but I know you both are going to be casting it, so I will let you have your chit-chat about the draft. I'm excited for game number 1 between Fart Studios and Dogchamp, and myself and Gods will head on out of here.
All right, thank you very much. That's right, game number 1 officially starting here for this best out of 3, or only best out of 3 of the night. Finishing it off here. I guess you could call it the regular season of Division 2, because again, tiebreakers are inevitable. They are coming, and Nat T and God still joining us. In fact, we're trying to. Oh gosh, the wireframe's just all this. It's going bonkers right now. We'll figure it out. But we are loading into the game here. That Morphling final pick, though. Happening. Of course, Yuma going to be playing it. What do you make of the Morphling 10th pick? Wow.
Well, I mean, Yuma on Morphling, he's level 30 Morphling. He's a spammer, and he had the ultimate last pick, and he says, you know what? Morph here, it works just fine. So I'm going to trust him in his decision, then that this is a nice game to bust it out. Like God said, the draft looks really nice for Dog overall. It's well-rounded. It has a lot of different elements to it, but the one thing that they have as a weakness, I suppose, is that they don't have the biggest push. Their tower damage is not the highest, but Morph can push pretty fast later on.
Oh, that was a bit awkward right there. They were running right by. How about the patience by Italiano Gangster there, sitting in the trees as they all run by. Of course, he didn't necessarily see them either, so just happens to be really patient.
Yeah.
And now he's going to poke on out, so we'll see if any brawling happens.
Now they've been spotted, though. The Rubik is in danger here. If he missteps, he's going to go down. They don't have any vision, and they want to try and take the top rune here. So Rubik is... Oh, he's in so much danger right now.
Yeah, Arctic Burn's coming up in a couple of seconds. I'm guessing once that's ready, yeah, it's going to be ready to be used right here. So out comes the horn. The rune's going to be spawning in a second right now. And there we go. It is a trap indeed. And it's a true trap with the ice shards being used. There's no chance for Rubik to get out of that. It's a giant, the stand-in going down. Fart SJ, credit for the first blood.
Yeah, gonna be a good start for him. Bottom lane, Monkey's being run at by Bloody Nine on his Dawnbreaker here. The support Dawn just chasing him. Dawn Morphling, probably a fairly strong lane in the level 1 to level 3 stage. And Monkeys is a little bit left alone here as Newsham has to run all the way bottom. Of course, did take part in that first blood, but that means the first creep wave, which can be so important, is a little bit harder here.
Yeah, no doubt Monkeys, especially early on, as you're pointing out, it's going to be heavily relying on Newsham to be that support, bring the harassment, and Bloody Nine's like, all right, let's brawl. This is obviously a support in Dawnbreaker that certainly is not afraid to fight, especially when that Starbreaker ability is ready. So expecting a lot of damage to go back and forth at that bottom lane.
Yeah, this is a lane where the Hoodwink can do a lot of right clicks though. Dawnbreaker is just gonna be taking all those Blightstone auto attacks, and they can really add up after a while as they start to hurt. Meanwhile, looking at the other lanes as well, we got that mid matchup of Tusk versus Pango. Tusk is a hero that doesn't really lose to a lot of things mid. I don't think he's like the biggest punishment ever against a Pango. I don't think it's like Ember who really can put the hurt on to Pango with the Sleight of Fist spam. But he should probably have like a 60-40 edge, I would say, in this matchup.
All right, so I Annihilate. Looking to see how he does. And right now, 8-2 versus the 4-0 Pango. So very early on, but certainly having the better of that start as they continue to use the abilities to assist in that last hitting. But Bloodseeker, oh, that's a kill on Yuma. Going down.
Oh, wow.
Watching him adapt, shifting right there, and got caught with a little too much agility.
I mean, it's the level 30 player versus the level 30 player. You got a 30 Morph and a 30 Brood, but I guess we just saw already on level 2 here a kill that really would not be expected. This is not what I would have thought would happen. They come back to the lane, though, come back swinging.
This is the plan, Waga, to kind of give them a false sense of hope and then go back in, but they don't actually get the kill, so never mind. If that was the plan, it fails big time, because Monkeys, he is going to survive and be just fine. So, yeah, certainly a kill you would absolutely not expect happening on a Yuma right there, but
yeah,
what's done is done, so it looks like the feed, unfortunately. We're going to do a radio broadcast for the time being, Waga.
Yeah. Just looking at the fights on bottom, we still just have some trades going on there. No kill happening yet, as overall, oh, there we go. We're back in the game. Lovely.
Oh, thank God. It's a little bit harder to do the radio broadcast for a game like Dota, and it's for traditional sports, I suppose. But back in, that's good. But yeah, so Bloodseeker, though, again, so let's talk about that for a little bit, because I feel like you brought up this opinion yesterday when we saw it in the matchup against DogChamp as well, and throughout this tournament, it feels like a hero that, yes, he could have a great laning phase, do very well. He's a quote-unquote counter to the Pango. But his impact seems to kind of drop off. It just feels like it drops off into that mid-game state. A lot of these.
It's hard. You really need to know how to transition into mid-game and know your timing super well on Bloodseeker to get the most out of him. And I think a lot of teams have struggled that they get a lot of farm, but maybe they miss this timing where you're supposed to be dominating, and then they go too late. Where Bloodseeker is not really like a super hard carry either, but. Usually laning stage goes really well, so he is topping the CS charts right now. We'll see how the mid game is going to work out for him though.
Yeah, so yeah, having that great laning phase, and speaking of that, so is Tusk in the mid lane. We talked about it, although Pango's certainly caught up. It's keeping it pretty close, but Tusk is topping this CS amongst everyone as they're both going to get their own runes. That's 4 minutes spawn. So looking to that 5 to 6 minute mark is when we usually have a lot of these rotations start kicking in and potential kills happening around that mid lane. So Hoodwink going to pick up a bounty rune and then head back bottom for now. But next minute or so, expecting that movement to start taking place.
Yeah, probably. It's, for now they can keep playing on their lanes, but the power runes are really the timing that you want to start moving around on. And overall, while Bloodseeker is leading the CS chart, the Centaur is doing a good job keeping the lane really far back and just being in a good spot.
A good combo there, but that's also a good protection coming out from Jenkins.
Morphling dies to that catch by the Bushwhack. That's a second death on a level 30 last pick Morphling. I mean, he was confident going into this matchup, but he's getting punished. He didn't have time to morph up enough, and just a Bushwhack catching him off guard.
Yeah, he wasn't all the way agility by any means. In fact, Dawnbreaker having a fight, and it's not going to fight well. So we knew that they were going to be trading blows down here. I can't say I expected it to go this well in favor of Fart Studios, as they already have a 4-0 lead and 2 deaths on Morphling. Morphling usually one of these laning heroes, especially that doesn't die.
I told you, man, it's Monkey's Brood. Monkey's Brood. I talked to him before this match. I told him that I need you to pull out your best A game here. I want to see some disgusting draft, and yep, they delivered. It's the Brood.
So he put the banana suit on, and he got all the extra powers that he needed.
That's true. And again, they're gonna get a kill here, bottom. As I think Dawnbreaker's just caught off. Maybe she's gonna be fine. Yeah, I spoke too soon. She's gonna be fine and get to a tree line. But are you really fine? You're down to 100 HP. You're against a Bloodseeker. Now you're buffing the other lane, because that's the big thing as well. If you're starting to lose your lane like this, then he might get punished by Nusham.
Yeah, he's going in. Behind the tower. A couple more auto attacks. One more should do it. And Monkey's even running in the other direction. So Nusham getting credit for the kill. And Yuma, all he could do is just stand there. I mean, Aftershock was just coming off cooldown. Nothing he could do more. In fact, they're going to just dive the Morphling now. Insatiable Hunger will be popped. And they're going to force a lot of regen, if anything. Not going to get a kill this time. But yeah, Yuma's continuing to feel the hurt.
Yeah, this lane is starting to look officially like unplayable for the Morphling. When the mana boots came in, that changed everything. Now they just have mana to keep spamming their spells non-stop. So all the time they're gonna go through again on him, I think. If he comes up for this range creep, they're gonna nuke him again.
Dawn's not even heading bottom at this point. She's actually walking to the top lane. TP's coming off cooldown in about 3 seconds. But speaking of the top lane, Fart SJ getting pretty low. Puts down the Blood Right, and that with the Splinter Blast. But Zentar, he doesn't care. He's got a full Vanguard. He's hard to do damage to right now. So, but yeah, Dawnbreaker making her way all the way to the top lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, Nusham setting up.
Yeah, now he can start leaving the Broodmother. And top, they're looking for that dive. Trying to get the lift.
They want it.
Can't reach.
He's taking the tower. Of course, he can do that. Retaliate's also online, and there's the combo once again. That hoof stomp. We've seen it. I mean, hoof stomp's not the easiest to land sometimes, but when you have a great setup like that, it's pretty damn easy.
Yeah, mid. We see the roll coming out from RCY, trying for a solo kill.
Gonna roll in circles now. TP coming in from Rubik, but Nusham shows up and can trade some damage right there. Ooh, a swashbuckle whiffing. I Annihilate. They're pinging out. They want to maybe make a play right here. He's going to get some mangoes delivered. So he's got many to work with. Goes in the ice shards. They want the Pango. They don't want Rubik, but Tusk needs to be careful not to die himself in the meantime. Double the swashbuckle hit. But now they barely surviving. Down goes Rubik. Ah, that was a close call.
Yeah.
Going the way of our studios, though.
Gonna be a rune top here for the Pango. Gets an Arcane rune. Fantastic drop for him. Tusk wanting to fight, but has to be careful about that swashbuckle.
Yeah, now they're retreating.
So they put Morphling mid now. This is a shift where they're trying to create some safe space for him to farm, and then they're going to use Pango to try and defend against the bottom push on Brood. That is something that Pango is really good at. Just swashbuckling immediately kills those spiders.
So, RCY though, well, he's good against killing those spiders, but he needs to be worried about surviving right now. And it's apparently not easy. And in fact, it's impossible. He just gets taken out as Freedom Mother dives him, and now Bloody Nine's in trouble. Does not have any cooldowns ready for the next 5 seconds. Monkey's just running her down. Has spawned spiderlings. Couple more auto attacks. Double kill for Monkeys. The Brood Monkeys. Monkeys Brood. It intertwines. It's the same either way.
The slurp voice line spam, yeah. I've seen this so many times. I've seen him do it. It looks so easy, even against the Pangolier, who's honestly quite good against Brood, and the fact that you can immediately kill the entire army, and he did. But it doesn't matter. The mana boots, the spam of the nukes, and the insatiable hunger to dive under tower, he just kills the Pango, and Pango completely underestimated Brood.
I'm trying to think. Who did they ban? They banned the Trian, didn't they? That was the ban that they banned instead of Broodmother.
Yeah, that was their second ban on Dogchamp.
Yeah. So again, I don't want to like start overanalyzing that by any means, but just a kind of a reminder right there. Obviously, yeah, Trian certainly has his own powers and great hero himself, but yeah, Monkey's Brood. It's we saw the Monkey's Brewmaster the other day, but his Brood also pretty damn good.
Yeah, he plays BM and BM. That's his specialty. And now he's just making a move, not sticking around bottom, going towards mid.
Oh, and there is the rupture. RCY, he just needs to stand still for the time being. Broodmother, though, did he go too far? No, he's got a mech. He's just fine. Spawn Spartaning will finish off Dawnbreaker. Yuma, using that adapt to try to push back in that full strength, so he is tanky, but they still want to go for it. Snowball in, Rubik's picked off in the meantime, and Bloodseeker joins now to Morphling. Morphling's dead. They're just running at Dogchamp, and Dogchamp does not have the tools right now to defend themselves.
11-1, 10 minutes into the game. Fart Studios showing up big time here. Just absolutely manhandling Dogchamp so far. I mean, they have Italiano Gangster just standing top and farming on a Centaur, but his entire team is crumbling right now.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, Dogchamp, may I remind everyone, I mean, this is an undefeated team. They have not dropped a single map so far in Division 2 going into this final series. Yes, they have rank 1 secured, but you still figure you don't want to give a good effort here against Fart Studios. But this feels to me this is more Fart Studios, specifically Monkeys, but as a team, they're just playing that much better.
Yeah, so much of this comes back to that bottom lane could not be played. Morphling had to, seek refuge on the mid lane early. He had to move. That forced Pango to go bottom, and then Pango dies bottom. So much is coming back to this Brood. Like, honestly, I would attribute, most of how the game is going to Monkeys Forever and the impact that he's bringing here. And this is them with a stand-in, right? Playing not with the initial Fart Studios team, but I would say they're way stronger with him in the team.
Worth pointing out that Dogchamp has Italiano Gangster going down right there. The Tusk Hoodwink combo coming together. They are also playing a stand-in as well. So Giant, of course, playing the Rubik, but still, RCY. Rolling Thunder connects on a Tusk. Tusk, Snowball, going to be on the Morphling, and I think he's going to be in trouble here. Yes, pretty committed at this point. Hoodwink doing what he can, but not much more to use, and they will eventually kill the Tusk. So they get their second kill at least, and slight bounty for RCY going his way. But again, big picture, 3 of the top 4 net worth in the game all belong on the dire side. Centaur is the only one that's doing, pretty good on the side of Dogchamp, and he's coming off a death. He's still trying to finish that blink, but certainly not in that they look forward to having.
Yeah, when he has his blink, they can start looking for him to initiate stuff and follow up with the Dawnbreaker ulti and play around that and generate some space for the Morphling to recover and farm, because that's really what he needs to do. Right now, he is only 300 gold ahead of the Hoodwink. This Hoodwink of Newsham is so damn rich this game.
Yeah. And we've seen these wealthy Hoodwinks and what they can do in this tournament, let alone just overall right now in the current patch. It is deadly, and he's going to be going to the bottom lane to address this very well farmed Centaur. There's the initiation, and the follow-up from Tusk is there with the Walrus Punch. However, he's going to be fine, Stampede, but no, now he's ruptured, and all of a sudden it's pretty awkward for Italiano Gangster. He is going to die to the Blood Right. Bloody Nine trying to stand strong, can only stand strong for so long, especially with the Broodmother showing up. And, you know, that was the other thing with the Centaur pick. It's like, again, overall, I understand, but the Bloodseeker pretty good against Centaur as well for that right there.
Yeah, it definitely is. Bottom, they're diving behind the tier 2 tower, gonna find Giant as well and bring him down quickly. That opens up this tier 2 tower to be taken, perhaps. Glyph is gonna get used, but yeah, this is just all falling apart. And like you said, Stampede doesn't really save you from Rupture. It's not gonna allow you to escape. That's why I said it was more for initiation this game. Great stomp though.
But he's too tanky. Like, the idea is right in the sense of like, okay, this kind of makes sense, but man, these guys are just so much more farmed than the side of Dog Jam. They turn on his Centaur. Look at his Tusk. He has so much life, apparently, and more so it's just the lacking damage on Dog Jam's side. I mean, you have a mid-Pango that has a Blightstone and Arcane Boots. Like, you can't expect a lot of DPS to be coming out from that at 14 minutes into the game right now.
Yeah, this tempo is very, very high. The early Greaves makes very difficult to fight into as well. The Broodmother lane, they're trying to contest it. They're going there. There are two approaches, right? You play against Brood. You can either go there and try and fight it, or you stick your head in the sand and pretend she doesn't exist for a while. Honestly, I don't think they benefit from fighting down here.
Yeah. Rotation coming in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Annihilate, he's busy getting the kill himself onto the Rubik. So this is insane. I mean, 18-2 stat line. You're looking at a team like you're like, oh, so Dog Champ's winning. No, Fart Studios is winning 18-2 right now in hero kills, and it's just gonna get even better perhaps. Pango trying to get away. Annihilate throwing out his combo, they're not lacking damage on the dire side. Yeah, he literally just solo killed the mid hero on the other side.
Yeah, RCY has no game here, even though he is, you know, with a lot of CS, a lot of those are just spiraling CS as well. His net worth is the lowest out of the 6 cores right now, something we very rarely get to see. RCY, we've hyped him up a lot as the, you know, standout player of Div 2 here in NA, but having an awful time, and all of Fart Studios are just, you know, doing what they're supposed to do, and they have 4 kill streaks going on right now in their team as well. Damn.
Yeah, it's like, it's getting to one of those cases, Walker, where it's like, what else can we hype up about Fart Studios? Like, everything is just going so perfect for in this game right now. Just, you know, but we're reiterating it for a reason, because of just how impressive this continues to be. But again, what's the comeback mechanic now for Dog Jam? Obviously, we are still fairly earlier on, 16 minutes in. We are going to see RCY jumping in here with the Rolling Thunder. Meanwhile, Centaur going on the Wyvern, but Curse going to be using. There's that combo you mentioned. Somewhat of a counter to the Dawnbreaker. She comes in with a Solar Guardian, but the Curse going to lock her in place. And off to the left, there's going to be a kill happening on the Centaur. Tusk will die because he died so much, but now Fart SJ, he's trying to clean up on the Morphling. Morphling TP out though, so manages to survive, and the rest will get away. But they kill the Tusk, but they lose too, and this mid tower is looking juicy now for Fart Studios.
Yeah, I don't think they can really push into it just because of Swashbuckle being so good defensively, but even though that was a fight that started out well for them, you could see the turnaround there, and why I said that the Winter's Curse is so nice. It just gives you that sort of guaranteed that you're gonna get 2 heroes at least. Giant with the insatiable hunger on Rubik. The right clicks. So powerful.
Yeah. It's interesting that a hero, obviously, I was going to say he has Guardian Greaves and how much damage he can do, but he does have that Orchid now on Broodmother, and really going this solo kill.
That's so fast. It's so rapid timing. He almost breaches the 5-digit net worth here at 17 minutes into the game. That is well ahead of the expected curve. So he's going to build into the Aghanim Scepter as well, which is a very oppressive item. Ooh, top Giant actually is fine. Wow, I thought they would get Vision in there as the Hoodwink ran, but and he just runs by, ships into the, oh my god, he Fade Bolts, and I think Fart Studios are like, what? What do you mean he Fade Bolts? We just ran there. They patrolled the area.
Like, maybe there's a lot more nearby. Let's just play it safe. Obviously, if you're Fart Studios, you don't need to overstep right now. You have a very comfortable lead, but yeah, manages to escape what seemed to be certain death, does Rubik, but he's doing his best to pick up any kind of farm he can get, obviously, as it's really kind of the trend for this Radiant side. They're struggling. I mean, how is Morphling looking? He's got a Yasha, an ultimate orb, so he's trying to build that Eye of Scotty next, and you know, Yuma's attempting to make that progress, and obviously that's all you can ask for. It goes back to, like, that's kind of the comeback mechanic for DogChamp right here. They do scale pretty well eventually. It's about not letting this get even more out of control.
Yeah, he needs to eventually get huge on the Morphling. There are a lot of items that they need, though, so gonna have to wait quite a while. Nice ward here by Fart Studios, gonna play under it.
Fart Studios knows that they want to delay this game, and they're going to go in. Curse on a Morphling. Nusham lining up the sharpshooter. Hits. Breaks applied, but in the end, not really the most follow-up damage. Centaur gets a nice two-player stop. Solar Guardian in, and Jenkins, he's in trouble. He puts himself on it with a Cold's Embrace, but it's not going to be enough. All the Tusk goes down, and Jenkins eventually going to fall. There you go. Shards were stolen by the Rubik, used right there to the favor of DogChamp. They lost Dawnbreaker, but a support, not the biggest deal. Another great two-player stomp from Italiano Gangster. The Fade Bolt used as well, but now the Rupture's applied, and Centaur will fall. However, they go in on a Bloodseeker, and they burst him down. So, dare I say, a one fight for DogChamp, our first one of the game.
Yeah, they got a great fight there. I think a lot of that comes down to that Fart SJ didn't TP to the fight, even though they committed TPing the Brood over there. If Brood decides, I'm joining, this is an important fight, I'm surprised that you don't join with the Bloodseeker as well. Granted, he wanted to finish his BKB, he wanted to farm, but that was a big team fight that he came into way too late there on Bloodseeker and gets caught out. Very well played by Italiano Gangsta there. The multi-hero stunts definitely served his team well. Even though he went down in the end on Centaur, he did his job and then some.
All right, so especially with that one fight from DogChamp as Rubik, barely makes it out. Let's take a look at those odds, esportsbet.io, the Watch Tour platform, and see where they stand currently. Maybe, or maybe a little bit. We'll get those eventually here, but again, check it out for yourselves on the site. I'll have those odds there. I got to think they're favoring Fart Studios right now in this game, of course, but again, with that one fight, and that kind of does bring this opening for DogChamp to make more of a much more realistic comeback now, especially with the Morphling impact.
Yeah, the lead that they have isn't something insane anymore, even though they were, 18 kills to 2 or something. They're only 5,000 gold ahead now. I say only, that's still quite a chunk, but they have to be mindful. If they lose one more big fight, then that could be the game completely equalized. So they need to make sure that if they take fights, they need all the cores to be ready for those fights.
Yeah. Tusk roaming around. I'm noticing he's got that Desolator now to go with the Falcon Blade. Has a Blink queued up as well, so Tusk looking pretty beefy.
They want a Roche.
We're just seeing.
Yeah, they can sneak
do.
it. It was
And again
spotted.
with that Deso.
Actually, no, this ward doesn't have vision all the way over there, so they didn't really see them. I think they are aware though, but not much that Dog can do, so they're just maximizing their farm on the side lanes and pushing as much as they can. But this is gonna be Aegis going over the side of Tusk, I guess? Yeah, Tusk is gonna take it.
Huh. Okay. Gonna say who do you give that one to, but there you go. It is gonna be Tusk.
Yeah, he's the best option, because once he gets the Blink Dagger especially, he will be able to just dive in with that Deso. Giant gonna reveal the smoke here. Perhaps intended,
It's a good
but
death.
either
Yeah.
way, not the best outcome for them there. And godlike spree on Newsham right now. 9-0-13.
Yeah, that B God Hoodwink performance certainly stands out from earlier in this division too. Nusham giving him a run for his money, arguably better. I mean, obviously there's still plenty of game left, but yeah, he's. But we're seeing the Ethereal Blade queued up, and again, he's already doing plenty of burst damage. You throw that in there, he literally can solo kill nearly any hero in the game. But bottom lane?
Far SJ gets caught out, gets blinked on, gets stunned up, and the damage is there with the Dawn ulti as well. That's a costly death right there. He did have BKB, but didn't have time to react.
I don't know, like, Waga, am I wrong to say that? Yeah, I mean, you look at the chart right there, as the observer's showing us, it's still favoring Fart Studios, but I'm starting to feel like that this is starting to go DogChamp's way now.
It is slipping, and this comes down a lot to what I was saying about the carry as well. This Bloodseeker carry, top, diving onto Tusk now. Yuma having big impact.
Uh-oh. That's going to be an Aegis use. Yuma on the Morphling. He is feeling very good. There's a curse on a Pango. The Rolling Thunder about to wear off, though, and they just blow up the Tusk after he comes out of the Snowball. Speaking of Snowball, Rubik stole it and assisting for this kill on the Winter Wyvern as well. They're throwing up high fives, and we are basically nearly back to even net worth. And that is great news for DogChamp.
Yeah, after that start, that's an incredible job to recover like this. But I also want to keep, reiterating on this, that Bloodseeker in this game, this felt like pretty much the freest game that you can ask for, right? Your offlane completely demolished. Mid lane was also a win. You have your mid laner solo killing the enemy mid laner, and your pos 4 is 9-0-13. And this is when you have to step up and be the carry and have the impact. He's now out-farmed by a Morphling that didn't even get to stay on his lane at level 3.
Yeah. And again, I don't think this is a BSJ. It's just the Bloodseeker it continues to be the theme. We were talking about this going into this very game as he was having that great start. It has fallen off a bit, and he's going to be pinged out here, by the way. They did see him, but luckily for Fardas J, he's happening to be pathing away from them, so he's going to be fine. Top lane, that's just Dawnbreaker, but she is going to be killed, and successful one there for Far Studios. But I also looked at this Broodmother. Again, we praised Monkeys out of laning phase for very good reason. It's been a little bit since his impact has been felt, though. He is 6-0-12. He's got the Ags now, right? Like, this is... You expect a bit more to start happening from him?
I think they're going to try and fight around the Aghanim's webs more and more now. Might even use it to start securing areas and take over, like taking over the enemy Ancients is a very common play with the Aghanim Scepter, as it protects even against smoke rotations. They definitely need to find a place on the map and play on that very heavily to get the most benefit out of the Zags.
Mm-hmm. See him laying down those webs quite a bit, but a lot of avoiding happening right now. Pango pushing out the bottom lane, then quickly blinking away. You do see Pango, again, the diffusal blink, and he's going that Lotus Orb, which we saw yesterday, and the impact there by a team like DogChamp. They love this item, and they make great use of it, so I'm sure it's going to be no different here.
Yeah, this is an awesome game for it as well. You have stuff like the Snowball, Winter's Curse, the Rupture, some absolutely fantastic stuff, and even just dispelling against Broodmother using her E or the Orchid. So yeah, this is a nice item choice here.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Interesting noting that Dawnbreaker, who's harassing at the top lane, it might be found. Oh, the Snowball. Unfortunately, not in time, so manages to get out. But yeah, she has full Guardian Greaves, and her farms, even slightly better than the Rubik. I don't know if that's good or bad, but overall, Bloody Nine's managing some decent farm for the team.
Yeah, he's getting some. He's been running around, split pushing quite a bit, and also killed some spiders here and there. His bottom tower was taken out right now. DogChamp are almost completely equalizing the net worth here.
top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom
Yeah, both teams attempting to push some objectives. It's just illusions left over, but that tier 3 bottom lane, I mean, look at it. It's already at half life. Finally, the illusions go down, but the tier 3 bottom tower in Fart Studios base is already at that half-life void. And again, for how this game started, it is still kind of crazy to think that that's where the game is at right now. But DogChamp playing this so well in terms of recovering. They're going to 4-player smoke around the Morphling.
They're playing it really well, but right now they're sitting for so long just waiting for something to happen mid lane, but it's just Monkeys forever sitting in his spiders one by one. Tower is down to 2 HP as he kept the catapult alive for so long using his spiderlings.
What is Bloodseeker? Where did he go? Okay, he's got a Gleipnir. Okay, so he does have a full Gleipnir finished as it gets delivered right there. And perhaps that's a cue also for now for Fart Studios where they wouldn't mind a fight happening, but that fight may be coming up soon. Stormbreaker. Well, she falls back.
Yeah, both teams are avoiding each other quite a bit right now. Some mutual respect going on. But mid tower should be easy to take out with just a little army. They're going to smoke into their own Ancients, though, on the side of Fart Studios. So they want to force the engagement here, trying to catch DogChamp overextended.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Centaur with the Lotus Orb of his own, by the way, so that could come into play. But yeah, speaking of catching them, Yuma's found. A decent opening with the Walrus Punch. The Snowball stun as well. Hood with follow-up. No, gets the waveform off. Is stunned over here. but away. Solar Guardian was activated, TP'd out as Morphling, and Bloody Nine's going to go for it as well. He might get caught. Okay, they're going to use a curse for this. Again, remind you, it's a support Dawnbreaker, though, so you're really not that disappointed if you're Dogchamp, considering what could have been.
Yeah, they get something at least. They get a consolation kill. They also get some Deso charges for Tusk getting that kill. The game has really slowed down ever since he got his Desolator. There hasn't been that much action, but finally gets his second kill with it.
Well, what can you do?
What can you
Wagga,
do?
you brought this up earlier, by the way. I mean, both Hoodwink and Broodmother still have massive streaks going. More so Hoodwink. 10-0 and 14. But I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, but it is one of those cases where if he does get killed now, then that's a lot of gold going the way for Dogchamp, whoever does.
It is. There's a big bounty on his head, but he has that Blink Dagger, and he also has a gem, which he's been using to deward and control the map. I love the early gem pickup here. I think it's a really, really good addition. He didn't buy it, in fact. It was Jenkins. We should give cred for that, but he's the one running around with it, you know.
Bard SJ top lane. He's got backup cutting nearby, but the blow up, it's so fast. However, Snowball gets the BKB off. Will manage to survive. Morphling going to be kicked around. Sharpshooter was activated. Jenkins, no curse for 13 more seconds. Lotus Orb, Reflection, Gleipnir's out. Still in place. Shifting over to that strength, pretty much maximum. And Monkeys will beat him down for the kill. Morphling's out for 70 with no buyback currently. The chase continues. Rubik, he's running. He had the insatiable hunger. Not running the best ability right there, but going to keep running. Meanwhile, turn. The curse was used, but Tusk going to be saved by the Wyvern. Cold Embrace one now, keeping him alive. Gleipnir coming out once again. The snowball in the face. Solar Guardian activate is still alive. Finally goes down. So does the Bloodseeker. And even without the Morphling, Dogchamp is winning this fight now. Nushan being chased. He's just dead. Pango clearly is able to do some good damage. And Centaur continuing to be that beast in the front lines.
Oh boy, they got the gem as well. That is some big financial damage going the way of Art Studios. And with 3 of them dead now, I believe this is going to be the first time here that they're going to actually get the net worth lead soon on Dogchamp. They played that fight really well. Despite losing the Morphling, they just combo exceptionally well around the Centaur and make the most happen during the chain stuns.
There's so many things that continue to shock me this game, Wagga, that, again, from the way this started in the landing phase by Fire Studios was so good for them, to then the starting the comeback, to that Morphling being dead early on in the fight, and it doesn't matter still. They still win it 4 versus 5.
Yeah,
And Dogchamp does reclaim the net worth lead.
that honestly is pretty ominous for the way this game is developing, because Morph is getting very, very strong here as it progresses. He has that Skadi now building towards the BKB as well, and if they lose fights when Morph is already taken down, and you know they didn't use all their cooldowns or something to kill him, so if they lose fights after Morphling gets pretty clean picked off, then that spells trouble here going later into the game. The Bloodseeker, I have to go back to it again. Soon he's going to have that Basher, but I just feel like this hero doesn't scale to become that hard carry, that reliable feeling. But at the same time, he hasn't been hyperactive in fighting either.
Yeah, so certainly a little bit of fault there, you could argue, but in the end, I mean, again, with Hoodwink dying, now it's Broodmother that still has the bounty on his head, and the Monkeys, Brood, I mean, still is top net worth by a fair amount, but it hasn't really been that impact from the coming out of the laning phase, even slightly after it. I will say a Scythe is being built, though, and that feels like, again, one of these items that certainly is going to have some high impact here.
Yeah, it's super nice. Once he completes that full Scythe on Broodmother, he's going to be able to maybe lock down the Morphling or the Pango before they manage to use their key abilities, and that could be definitely huge. I think now we see Fart Studios just go back to a little bit splitting up, letting the Broodmother play on her own, build up and farm. But Dogchamp, though, they don't want to slow down the game. They want to make more stuff happen, so into Rush is cool.
Scanning.
Yeah, great scan, though, immediately. So Dogchamp, it's not much of a secret anymore. It was a good attempt, smoke it in, but obviously spotted. Fart Studios. The question is, how much do you commit to this? And yeah, Dogchamp says, all right, you got us. Let's just fall back and let Roshan be for now. Let him regenerate a little bit. So Fart Studios still also in the area, but doesn't look like we're going to have the Roshan yet. However, 5-player smoke, Italiano Gangster in the front lines. They're expecting maybe Fart to check it out, and then they'll pounce, but nothing yet.
Yeah, but this is where the Brood Aghadems is really useful. Look at this. He's just getting continuous pings and reveals here on heroes even during smoke. He also has a, you know, this safeguard on mid. Oh, what? What is he doing there?
He's dead. He was by himself.
That was...
I mean, yeah, no buyback. 70 seconds, and the team of Far Studios is almost panicked at this point, understandably. Jenkins trying to turn around for a curse, but he can't get it off. He's dead too, and it's really falling apart for Far Studios now because that should now help secure a Roshan to favor Dog Jam.
I am shook that he showed himself there. Nobody was showing on the map on Dog Champ for like a minute there, and even the Aghanims from Broodmother was revealing that there was a smoke happening. So I am so surprised that he was deciding to farm there. Super dangerous territory to farm, gets caught out, gets punished, and that's gonna cost you a Roche. This puts Dog Champ in a fantastic spot.
You know, we're mentioning the odds earlier. It's a bit different now, I'm sure, and yeah, you see on the screen. Well, it is still favoring Fart Studios currently. I wonder how up-to-date that is, because especially after that last exchange right there, esportsbet.io, by the way, the watch streaming platform, something tells me it's a bit different now, and it might get even better. Doc Champ trying to catch the Tusk. He was able to get out, but now Monkeys gonna go back to that bounty. Is still on his head, but they're gonna turn attention elsewhere. Yuma, he morphs into the Tusk, by the way, gonna use the shards. So a lot of shards being used between Rubik as well as the Morphling, and they end up taking out Wyvern and not going for objectives.
Yeah, this is quite the shards. Did he manage to throw 2 shards there? Because both of them were shard upgraded, no? Does he know something that I do not?
Dire structures are
Rubik stole it as well.
Yeah,
so,
but weren't both those shards shard upgraded? And oh, it was the Morphling. I'm stupid. So yeah, Morphling has the shard upgrade too. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it's hard to register, like, really, wait, what the hell is happening, right? When you have a Rubik and a Morphling doing the same target. Either way, this is going to be a free push mid lane for now. Obviously, with Wyvern coming up in 2 seconds. Doesn't have a curse for 20, though.
Yeah, no Aegis on the
tier 3.
Morphling, or no BB on Morphling, but he has that Aegis, so just gonna take down the tower and back out. Still have 3.5 minutes on that Aegis
Look at
timer.
bottom, though. So, Brood making busy at the bottom lane, making the best of that situation. Centaur ports back, however, Dawnbreaker gonna get caught for now. Gleipnir used Snowball in, and they will pick her off. You saw the rest of Dog Champ thinking about assisting, but continuing to try to run away. The Stampede will be activated for this, and looks like the getaway for the rest of them is successful.
Yeah, nice and disengaged there for Dog Champ. Losing the Dawnbreaker is not too painful for them, and now they can look towards even fighting as Fart Studios start splitting up a little bit here on the map.
So hanging around the Roshan pit, but of course not up. I mean, Morphling has Hades for another 2.5 minutes. Also has a double damage rune though, which yeah, he just bottled up, so that's why they're in the area. And certainly Doc Champ with Dawnbreaker coming up in 10 seconds. They are absolutely looking for a fight. And yeah, the Ags on Dawnbreaker, we mentioned this, the Guardian Greaves earlier. Now an Ags, this is technically a position 5. I think it's safe to say he is pretty damn farmed on that Dawn.
Looks like he wants to go for the Wraith Pact next as well. Could see him go for the Holy Locket as well. Is a very nice upgrade when you have Greaves and Aghanims. I think Holy Locket would be even stronger, but getting the Wraith Pact would also be nice. Just lower a lot of the damage here. Every single core on the side of Dire are right-click based.
Oh no. Wyvern, his own teammate shards used against him to scout. Giant finds him, and Jenkins is like, you know what? Golf clap. Well played. You got me.
Yeah, and with him dead, Yuma with Aegis in hand feels safe to just go up and push here. Not even using the DD rune, still holding that 1.5 minute on the Aegis. You know this Morphling wants to fight right now. DD and Aegis, he is so ready. He's calling team, let's go high ground.
Guess it's my shout.
Yeah, I mean, still a minute 25. Like, there's still a lot of time on this Aegis, and exactly. At least he's going to go high ground. The rest of the team, not necessarily here, but you got a Rubik backing him up somewhat close.
Yeah, Pango is on the way somewhat. Morphling doesn't have to have a hard commit pushing high ground here as well. He's just backing out for now.
Yeah, says, all right, enough is enough. He knocks in the door a little bit, gets some damage in, but in the end, yeah, they'll just kind of retreat and take over the jungle. You are seeing tier 4 items drop, so this is that timing where farming up the jungle a bit is certainly pretty effective. Make sure you get all those tier 4 items.
And we're gonna see the same sort of saving Centaur build that we saw yesterday. The Pipe, the Lincolns, the Lotus Orb. Italiano almost has the entire Lincoln Sphere here, and then he can spam that on Morphling. Morphling is a very nice hero to just spam Lotus and Lincolns on, because it is that sort of super hard carry. So you just steroid him up, protect him as much as you can, and he will get you that win.
Yeah, level 20s are being hit too. One that really stands out to me is, again, that Centaur, the minus 25 seconds on the Stampede cooldown. So we're only looking at a 75-second Stampede now. That's pretty good for such an impactful ability, especially if they use it aggressive, as we're going back to. But yeah, farming more of the jungle. Now it's Fart Studios' turn as well to get some of those tier 4 items. But that's a Daedalus finished on Morphling, and there's that Lincolns you were talking about finished on a Centaur. Granted, the Aegis was just reclaimed.
Yeah, they lose the Aegis, but they have no real stress to go high ground. They can if they want to.
Bloody bounty.
They are gonna go for a smoke play.
Oh, Brood, dare I say it, the bounty's still on his head, and he is in trouble. In fact, he is dead. And look at that gold. 1,200, 1,300 gold or so for Yuma. Yikes.
Yeah, RCY just rolling around as well, scouting a little bit. Morphling now, pushing high ground.
What do? You can't stop this. It's the impossible task, it feels like, for Fart Studios right now. This Morphling has gotten to that point, but Tusk in the backline's going for the quick burst on the Rubik. No, yes, it is going to be enough for the kill, actually. Centaur not safe. Solar Guardian in. Dawnbreaker going a little deep for this. Has the curse, by the way, coming out. Was that? Oh, no, that was the Wyvern right there trying to save, but in the end, it's just too much damage happening. He goes down, and so does the Hoodwink. Are able to take on Dawnbreaker, but this Morphling and Pango are still feeling pretty good. They want to kill this Broodmother again, and they're going to kill him again. Monkeys is out for 100 seconds, and so are the supports for not as long, but long enough.
Yeah, that Lotus Orb, the Lotus Orb spam is just so rough. When you play Winter Wyvern, he managed to get an unlucky curse there.
Okay, that's what it was, yeah. Deflecting it. Unfortunate. And I mean, that's it. GGs are called, and DocChamp will take game number 1. Again, it's gonna be a fun one to kind of look back on, especially as we get in the panel segment here. But I mean, Fart Studios, they dominated the laning phase. They were looking so good up until 15 minutes or so, and then things started happening. A death here, a kill here, and before you know it, DocChamp is like Morphling, and they're feeling pretty good. And hey, they take over.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it all started building once you saw those big 5-man engagements. That's where DocChamp's lineup was really making sense and looking strong, reliable, working, even though they were, stifled in the early game. And Fart Studios, they had stuff going for them, but they never had the advantage in 5v5 team fights, and they also didn't have the advantage in late game hard carry. And then it's really hard to transition the early lead into something more.
Yeah, speaking of the panel, let's bring them back in, Gods and Natty, because I'm sure, obviously, watching that one and plenty to say on just that swing, the pendulum swing, the momentum, and DocChamp remaining undefeated still so far.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, are Fart Studios doing it? Is this the stand-in, the position shift? We just need to get, Jenkins out of that off lane. But unfortunately, the hard start, the amazing start that they had for Fart Studios just wasn't really enough. And Gods, I want to know, what was the big shift? What exactly caused it? And how could Fart Studios have avoided sort of falling down to the demise that they did?
For me, it was just it goes mostly to how they were playing the map. They took a really long time, I think, to get Roche. They could have done it way earlier. They got this Deso on Tusk, and it wasn't for a few minutes before they get Roche. And then right after getting Aegis, firstly they give it to the Tusk. Kind of maybe would have preferred to see Bloodseeker get it, because I don't think you want to go late game with Bloodseeker. You want to, try and be very active and fight with it. And then right after they get Aegis, Fart SJ gets picked off bottom lane. Then they get picked off top lane, lose the Aegis, die twice on Tusk. So it was mostly just coming down to how they played the map, got picked off a lot, and didn't really play very objective-minded Dota. They get the Aegis just too late, then they don't play around the Aegis. I think they needed to really use BSJ more as this carry damage dealer, and put the Aegis on him and basically let the Tusk be the follow-up rather than the frontliner. But more than anything, they just gave up way too many freebie kills over this 20 to 35 minute mark, which is kind of the phase of the game where DocChamp just came back into the game.
Yeah. And with the lineup of Dog Champ Lager, is it one of those things that you give away one too many free kills and you're never really going to get back in? Or was there a way in which Fight Studios could have maybe brought it back even after a few missed-teamed fights and a few pickoffs?
I think it's not so much because of the lineup of Dog Champ, it's just because of the lineup of Fart Studios. It's, again, coming back to that Bloodseeker. The issue of the hero is, it's similar to is the carry version of Queen of Pain, right? You have to keep owning, start owning, keep owning, and transition that into something more. And honestly, I wish I would have seen them get involved more and just play that hyper tempo, because they were stomping at the beginning. Surely there was a big window where they could have gotten more. But this just speaks to the resilience of a team like DogChamp. Even when they're down so bad in the early game, they managed to clutch a win here.
Yeah, it is very impressive from that side of DogChamp. We don't really see them have to play from behind, because normally they're the team coming out of laning phase looking so dominant. But Reggie, why was the laning stage so impactful for Fight Studios? Why did it go as amazing as it did for them?
Well, I think the easy way to put that is, matchups certainly will look good for them. At least in the 2 lanes, Bloodseeker was setting up to have a pretty good time, as he usually does. And we talked about that mid matchup. Waga more specifically about, Tusk does have maybe the 60-40 over Pango, and did actually have a good game. Did annihilate. The bottom lane was really the surprise factor, right? I mean, the fact that they killed Morphling twice early on, it's like all of a sudden, wait, they're winning all 3 lanes, and obviously we're able to transition out of that, like I said, and just dominating fashion. But yeah, when it came to pushing the issue, and really we showed the replays right there, it kind of helped remind me as well that it was that around that 30-minute fight where they killed Morphling off the bat, and you figure, okay, this is just going to continue into the snowball effect till they GG out. But talk about the perseverance by DogChamp and not giving up. Then we saw Centaur jump in, follow up from Bloody Now into Solar Guardian, and the turn damage. And then before you, it's like, wait a second, hold on, this game may not be over yet. Some mistakes, and that's where it just really swung the other way. So yeah, just another case of DogChamp. They just continue to impress in so many different fashions, showing here even when they're so far behind early on, they could still withstand and come back.
A great point that you pointed out there was that Centaur, the initiation from Italiano Gangster. He did so much for his team. The hoof stomps coming out from him were fantastic. I just loved seeing him start, initiate. I don't know if he was doing the calling in the comms, but everything he was doing within the game looked fantastic. And because of that, he does get our MVP here, gods.
Yeah, there was one fight where I think he came out really big. It was the 30-minute fight in that top lane where they actually lose Morphling on DogChamp and still managed to win a 4v5 fight. And it all came down to Italiano Gangstar hitting multiple 2-hero stuns. He hit a perfectly timed stun on the Tusk to really turn this fight around. And they, the fact they're winning 4v5 without Morphling at that point, a very farm Morphling, all came down to the way they just used their spells and played around his initiations. And he was just, huge. The itemization, I think, was good. He made himself super hard to kill. The Lincolns to help his team out as well. The Lotus, he was just playing, he was just being that team player. And it made a huge difference for, the Morphling's game later on when he's got Lotus, Lincolns to kind of back him up.
Yeah, making that space for the morph. But DogChamp, we're able to come back into this. And if you're Fight Studios, Waga, what are you really thinking about for game number 2? What are you really focusing on that you need to change up?
I mean, maybe it's just, them finding each other more and making big objectives happen when they have a lead. Or perhaps it's just going back to the draft, thinking, okay, we won the laning stage really hard, but we need to be able to have a clear goal in mind. Usually the drafts that are the strongest are the ones that have still simple execution and, very clear. When you look at DogChamp's draft, you know exactly how the team fights are going to play. You know what they want to do. When you look at the draft of Fart Studios, team fight wise, it's tricky. Who goes first, who goes where, can you really 5v5? It becomes a lot more unclear. So maybe just try and get it more simple.
Okay. All right. Hopefully they can come onto the same page for game number 2, have that execution, have that simplicity. But we will have to go to a break first. And when we come back, it will be game number 2 between Fight Studios and DogChamp. Fart Studios up against Dog Champ. It is game number 2. Game 1 was an insane comeback, a massive display from Dog Champ. So we'll see if Fart Studios can do similar here in game number 2. But gods, this time around, Dog Champ having first pick, so they won't have the chance to pick up the Brood. It is banned out. Fart Studios don't want to let it get into their hands, but it does leave a leaner in the pool.
5 seconds.
Yeah, and Fart Studios feeling confident that they can maybe play into the lane is an interesting and bold choice. They actually were the ones who elected to go for second pick, so they're like, we're going to go second pick, we're going to give you Lina. And they must have some kind of a plan. We've seen various teams try different things against Lina. Some have had success, some have not.
Yeah, a lot of it usually comes back to heroes like Tusk, really, really good against it. Also Rubik, so might be an opening that they could go for here on Fart Studios.
5 seconds.
I reckon we'll see a Marcy and or Magnus as an attempt to counter the Lina at some point in the draft. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Marcy is fantastic against Lina. It's one of the better heroes. I think Magnus has been like mixed success for Fart Studios. They've had some moments with it.
Put Jenkins back on the off lane.
Yeah. It's now you got Monkeys on the off lane. He's not going to be playing Magnus. I don't think that's going to happen. But they do go for the Rubik, and instead of taking the Tusk as well, they get that Treant Protector. Is also super successful. I mean, what a hero he is! Truly insane for so many purposes: team fights, saves, delaying the tier 1 pushes, and just that living armor really saves people against Lina.
5 seconds remaining.
I do got to say, Nushin playing Rubik, I mean, not even just him playing Rubik, but he's definitely been the standout player when it comes to Fart Studios. So happy to see him on just, a classic 4-position playmaker, since he is so often the one making all the plays happen for this team and really stepping it up, trying to, carry the team through some of the misplays they're making. And it is going to be, another, I think, a tough game. Like Dog Champ, I think game 1, they were in a bit of a hole because of the way the lanes and the draft went, but I don't expect something similar to happen in game 2. So Fart Studios are going to have to play better and not have that kind of draft and lane advantage that they had in game 1, most likely.
Dog Champ having a bit of a think about how they want to close out this phase. They get the Lina. Normally you would get something that helps her in the lane. I don't know if Clockwork's going to be that, though, Breaky.
I mean, good perhaps in the lane partner, but also just a hero that kind of keeps things clumped up, with the cock trap. Obviously a great initiator with the hook shot as well, and sets up those free kills for Lina, ideally, to just let her sit back and turn into it and make kills happen. So Clockwork's been, for overall here in Division 2, I feel like a very successful hero. For the most part, as I'm looking, well, the stat on the screen says otherwise as I say this, 20 times, 35% win percentage, but it definitely seems like he is setting up to have a pretty good game this time. So,
yeah, Clock Lina is very common lane. Same with Clock and Furion. He just works really well together with these ranged carries that scale up really well. He can help protect their laning stage a little bit. And while Clock's success has been a little bit mixed here in Div 2, I still like the opening. And not too often have we seen Lina and Clockwork paired together, because Lina is so often just banned out.
So true. We don't really get to see too much Lina in general.
Soon Lina Major. Soon.
Yeah, we've got 2 weeks of Lina coming up, so prepare yourselves.
It's just getting us started.
I think the nice thing Fart Studios have done, at least with their opener, is like it's not really, they haven't done anything amazing. It's just like they're going to wait and see. Like they picked double support. They gave their opponents first pick. They're just trying to get as much info out of their opponents while picking like, hey, we're going to get 2 strong supports. Yeah, we give away this Lina, but we're going to make sure that all of our cores get good matchups. And I think that's something that especially players like Fart SJ have always kind of prioritized, is like he wants to have like the counter pick for both his lane as well as the carry v carry matchup. So many of, I think, Fart Studios' best games have come when they get to have Fart SJ playing like, a pick later on in the draft that kind of counters the enemy carry as well as the enemy offlaner.
So then, do you see Fart Studios opening the phase with an off lane, and then Dog Champ would most likely pick another support, and then an off lane themselves?
That's probably what's going to happen. And you could definitely see it. I mean, looking at the player camps as well, you could see Monkeys was like heavily arguing here during the draft phase. He was like very very expressive about something, and they ban out the Pango after that. So they're discussing stuff for the offlane, definitely. And looks like Dogchamp, though, they're gonna go ahead and get rid of some easy, hard scaling late game carries here with Void, Drow, and I like this approach because I think that's what Fart Studios need. That's what PSJ plays better on, I would say. The Bloodseeker performance last game was really rough for him, but I think he generally is a carry who really likes to farm a lot.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely I think a lot of the issues they had last game was him not getting involved. Despite the fact they'd won their previous 2 Bloodseeker games, he didn't look comfortable joining any early fights there. And I'm on the same page. Pick one of those more late game oriented carries. They'll wait till later on the drop. If you're Dogchamp, you're thinking, let's just start banning them out now. We may get to ban 2 more later on if they're gonna, final pick a carry. Then we get 5 carry bans rather than just 3. But yeah, the pressure's going to be on as far as what Monkeys maybe wants to play for the offlane coming out of this. He's played obviously an amazing Brewmaster. I don't think Brewmaster's quite as good this game with the lane being
just got
Clockwork
banned now
Lena
as well, so not gonna get that one now.
Oh, my VMix first, sorry.
Yeah,
never mind.
So Batrider comes out for Fart Studios. That is a hero that they can definitely play on mid lane. It can be used on off lane as well, but I don't like the Batrider versus Lina in particular. It can work against some carries, but Lina does quite well against it. So I'm expecting this to be mid. No matter what you go up against, pretty much, Batrider is going to be fine. This does open the possibility for Dogchamp to do a reaction pick. We've seen in the past some teams use something like Slark mid during TI. It was quite popular.
Yeah. The hero we've seen the most counter bat is the Quap. So they very much are like, okay, we'll ban Quap, pick the Bat Rider, and be okay with any other matchup.
How does Invoker match up against Bat Rider? Because that's kind of a comfort hero for RCY recently, I think, too. So
it's a comfort matchup. It's playable, but it's not great. It's like okay, but it's a risky lane. You can definitely get outplayed there against the Batrider if you're not cautious enough. A lot of matchups that previously were okay got a lot harder when Batrider got his buff that he does damage with the sticky napalm.
Sure. Something I want to address here as well, as we're still waiting for the reserve time of Dogchamp, is there was a level 1 penalty for Fart Studios, and just to be clear what that means, it's 30 seconds off the reserve time that you get initially, so they only had a minute 40 from the beginning, where usually you have 2:10, and we already see them down to 34 seconds. They used a lot of that earlier on, but it's one of those things, especially when you're the captain draft for the team. It can and you're down 1-0 in a series, you're playing against a very good team. It adds up that pressure. So
we might see Ember here come out from Dogchamp as well. I mean, RCY likes playing the Ember, and the Ember versus Bat is not a horrible matchup. If you know your mechanics, you can really win that lane. They're gonna go with Legion Commander now, so this is possibly gonna be a mid Legion. Always a way you could do it.
Yeah, I was looking at Treant plus Bat and thinking, hey man, any kind of Dispel here is going to have a ton of value. And yeah, Legion Commander for your offlane, not like a everyday pick, but you get so much value out of the press the attack in a game where you're playing against, both Bat Rider and Treant Protector. That's going to basically anything you can to keep your Lina, right-clicking people and attacking and, in the fight is going to go a long way here. So a great pick to kind of really set this Lina up for success.
Yeah, I like it. They get some shielding. Now they have both Global Silence and Press the Attack to bail out Lina if she gets caught out. And you have nice initiation as well. So it fits really great. I think Legion was a fantastic pick for them. And they don't have to lane it against the Batrider. Like you said, they can just send it off lane as well. It's completely fine. If you're laning against a carry Furion, that's a good matchup.
Yep.
We see...
Definitely. Sorry, go ahead, Nat.
No, I was going to say Nature's Prophet, right? Every time it's always been on BSJ. And now I'm wondering with Monkeys Forever in the mix, is there actually a potential for it to be flexed between the two of them? Or is it just probably what you see is what you're going to get?
I think it's just going to be what you see is what you get.
Damn,
they
really
might
hoping.
run it off lane, but I don't think that's going to be the hero. More likely, I think, would even be the Batrider on Monkeys Forever, but... there's a chance that he's the last pick as well. They're holding it a little bit open here. There's definitely flexibility on Fart Studios draft.
Yeah, it's really nice they have two cores that both kind of flex between multiple lanes when you come into the final pick where you have, they have the final 10th pick of the draft, so they can basically pick any lane they want here, since Bat can go mid and off lane, Furion can go safe lane and off lane. Realistically, they can just go whichever direction they want, even though there is, preferred roles. Like Bat Rider at the moment looks best in the mid lane. Nature's Prophet, I think, is kind of 50-50 between carry and off lane, but when it comes to Fart Studios, they've looked best within the carry role, so it does seem most likely they'll pick an off laner, but it's great that they can flex it. The fact they banned Husker makes me think Dogchamp wants to maybe pick the Ember that Waga mentioned, but Fart Studios not banning it, they banned Puck instead.
Yeah, interesting Puck ban. I feel it would add a lot of control on the side of Puck or Dogchamp with the Puck. They could really have a lot of team fight and lockdown. But I'm thinking what hero that they want to go for if they ban out the Puck here. Okay, so RCY Invoker is going to come out.
Yay. That was a confident reaction right there. Okay, liking.
We'll see what...
There's the Monkey's hero.
Yeah. Okay, so everything was pretty much as you see. What you see is what you get, which is a little unfortunate in terms of I love seeing when teams change things up, but it is very straightforward for who is going in what roles when it comes to these heroes. And before we duck out of here, gods, what are your overall thoughts between these two? Is this going to be a quick 2-0 for Dogchamp here?
I don't think it's necessarily going to be a quick 2-0. I think, again, Fart Studios, they've got solid drafts. Like, they know what they're doing when it comes to the picks, the meta. This last pick, Lycan, is a good offlaner, a hero that gives them a lot of tempo, a hero that can kind of get on top of the Lina, put pressure on. And there's not the best D-push when it comes to, I think, the dire heroes. So, for me, Fart Studios, their draft is fine, but, it was the same in Game 1, and whether or not they can execute is going to be the big question.
I'm excited. Hopefully we see some Rat Dota. Hopefully we see a lot of fighting. I love the Legion Commander. I love the Leaner. I'm excited for the Lycan on Monkeys Forever. It's just going to be a fantastic game, number 2. But for now, Gods and I are going to jump out of it. And Waga and Breaky, please take it away.
Will do so indeed. Trying to finish Division 2 undefeated. That's what's on the line here for Dogchamp, because they're playing for pride, and it's good to see, obviously giving a great effort here, taking the first game even in a comeback victory against Fart Studios. Can Fart Studios prevent what would be a 4-way tiebreaker set up for tomorrow? Well, that's what they're trying to do, at least get to game number 3 right now. So, Waga, did they draft well enough to give them a good chance on Fart Studios' side?
I think their draft is completely fine, and you're definitely right. Dogchamp are playing for the possibility here of going completely undefeated, whereas on the side of Fart Studios, though, they are somewhat threatened for elimination still. If they get pushed into that tiebreaker, then they are, potentially facing elimination matches. So a win here would mean a lot for them. That would secure them as not going to drop out of Div 2. And put them in a good position, as well as they could potentially finish top 3, which is a large chunk of money.
So, I was wondering this. Part of me was, we've been seeing so much Quaswex Invoker, and I was looking at who they have in the match. Expert Invoker was a possibility, and sure enough, he levels up Expert level 1, so it is going to be the Expert style play.
Oh, when you have Legion and Clockwork in your team, I think it would be a waste not to go for it. So yeah, the Exort, I love seeing it. I prefer Exort. It's very fun to me to watch. And also being close friend with Stormstormer, who is an Exort lover on Invoker with this over 6,000 games Invoker played. I've just seen some of the best Exort Invoker, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll see if RCY the challenge there of being a top tier Expert Invoker. Certainly has been impressive so far. Bounty Runes, it's actually going to be in favor of Dogchamp. You see at the bottom one, the Legion Commander was able to snatch that one up from the Radiant. So 3 for 1 favoring Dogchamp, and into the laning phase we go.
Yeah, gonna head towards the lanes. Bottom lane has the nature theme here, the Treant and the Furion together. Very, very strong lane, and kind of tough lane for the Silencer. If he shows, he can get bullied fast.
Well, it's going to start right off the bat. The bullying commences, and Giant having to respect that tree and just running at him with the right clicks. And those boots of his, so Jenkins letting the hitting commence. But yeah, Italiano Gangster using that level 1 overwhelming odds even, doing some good damage there. And ESJ already getting pretty low. Oh, the curse supply, that's taking him even lower.
Yeah, has to be careful not to drop too low here. This lane can be pretty nuky, by the way. The Legion Commander off lane has started favoring more and more in recent patch the overwhelming odds max build even and mana boost build. We might see that come out as he gets a nice double hero nuke with extra creep wave and the treants as well. That was a painful one.
Well, and that's something that stood out to me as well with the Legion Commander pick. I mean, there's so many reasons why it's a good pick, but yeah, the overwhelming odds, a lot of value this game between Lycan and Nature's Prophet especially, right, with all the armies coming out. So I'm certainly going to make great use of that ability, not only in the laning phase, but throughout the game.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's really fantastic. That was like a hero that just perfectly ticked all the boxes for what they needed. We'll see though how good the laning stage is going to be. Furin is still a very strong hero and hard to go up against, even with the help of a silencer.
Oh, look at Legion Commander running right at VSJ. Okay, now he's going to turn around actually, and oh, okay, he's the one that falls first. So they've been playing so aggressive on DogChamp's side, and it's been working out so far, but they will end up giving up the first blood, and they can't get the turn kill either, so...
I'm actually confused to why he was running at the Furion so aggressively there, because Furion was still at like 350 HP. It's not like he reaches Furion and he gets the kill. He needed to do like, I don't know, 7 auto attacks to bring down the Furion when he gets there, and he just died well on his way there.
I don't know if he was hoping for some crazy moment of courage RNG there or something, but yeah, that was
every hit
a bit odd.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, it's not going to happen though. Kind of like the Axe players, you know, expecting to spin every single hit, but not the case. Mid matchup though, Invoker versus the Batrider. Batrider 12-6, Invoker 10-4, so slight lead for Annihilate currently.
Yeah, he has that 20 magic stick charge already, upgraded one ready against the Batrider, very important. And after minute 3 here, we have the glyph available, so Batrider can always look to make a tower dive on the tower with the glyph when he gets a creep wave again.
Take some cold snap hits there, but speaking of Invoker, again, especially playing that Quas Exort, is going to be going the first item Midas. Not any big surprises.
No.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's what you expect. It's nothing out of the ordinary, really. Bottom lane going pretty well for Fart Studios. However, top lane is very dominant for the side of DogChamp so far.
Yeah, Yuma top CS in the game right now, and take some hits from the Wolves, but Monkeys being run down by Clockwork and just out of range for Cog Trap, so he'll survive. But yeah, Lena's looking great. Not as good for Monkeys. Again, much different game, especially compared to the Brute Mother opener that he had last time around. The CS is okay, but yeah, as you pointed out, Lena certainly having the better of that so far.
Yeah, doing fantastic. I mean, it's hard to pressure Lina when you have a Lycan on your lane, I feel. This is not really about winning the lane. This is more about later on. There we see that nuke combo again. He actually goes down to the curse.
Yeah, it just ticks down there. Now, Giant needing to survive, and he'll do just that. Jenkins going through the trees. Maybe trying to flank Giant, catch him off guard, but doesn't look like that's going to happen either. So finally, all that damage that has been coming out from DogChamp does result in a kill, and they tied up at one apiece. I'm curious, what do you think Legion Commander is going to be prioritizing here in terms of item build? The Blade Mail, the Blink, as Giant, by the way, is...
He's going straight for the Falcon Blade first, which I approve of. Top, the Monkeys forever gonna go down to the Clockwork, just running him down, getting the power cogs, setting up the stun for Yuma. We see why this lane is so nice. But yeah, seems like it's just gonna go for some form of Falcon Blade build. Oh, Annihilate gonna get solo killed by RCY.
Yeah, it didn't necessarily catch the beginning of that, but it looked like it just simply, I think it was the classic combo, the Tornado, Cold Snap, Meteor coming down.
Yeah, he caught him with the combo and set up enough time that he could get himself to safety as well.
That's a big solo kill. I mean, any solo kill in the mid lane especially, of course, is massive, and RCY liking that, because you do look at the CS, it has been favoring Batrider as of late, so that'll make up some ground.
Yeah, Batrider has zoned him out a few times as well, pushed him really far back, so he was struggling a little bit in experience, but getting that solo kill puts him ahead of the Batrider, getting his level 6, and Bat going down once. I mean, normally you want to dominate your lane when you play Batrider, so dying is not really acceptable for you.
Well, 6-minute runes coming up, and guess what? That means the rotations are in. Cog's going to push back and allow for the Arcane Rune to be picked up by Invoker. He's got plenty of mana to work with as well. You don't want to overcommit here on Bloody 9, and it looks like they do just that. And once again, Annihilate ticking down. He will go down. Jenkins running in. They finally kill the Clockwork, but again, that was such a commitment with so many numbers there on DogJam's side, especially this Invoker that was ready to fight.
Yeah, Giant doing a lot of damage with Arcane Curse. Nice join there for the mid lane, and this is gonna mean that even against Batrider here, which is a little bit of a tricky matchup, we're having a 6:30 Midas timing on the Invoker. That's very, very nice timing with upgraded wand as well.
Yeah. He is having that dominating start. That is not good news for Far Studios, especially when you factor in Lena. Goes back to her. She, by the way, is leading net worth at 3,300. She has her Falcon Blade. The Maelstrom is already queued up as well. So this laning phase certainly much different so far than it was in game number 1.
Yeah, and top monkeys might be in danger here. See the Clockwork body blocks attempted by the Wolves, trying to keep them away. Doing a good job so far, but not gonna have enough time to TP out though. So Lina just runs him down. Misses the first stun though.
Meanwhile, mid lane, they end up killing Giant. Was that a lasso? No lasso even needed. So just get the kill on Silencer, but yeah, back to the top lane with Lycan. He's still running, using those wolves, and it's just wasting a lot of time, I suppose, but Monkeys trying to get out of here.
Yeah, he's doing a great job just staying alive, but there's so much time that he's not allowed to hit creeps, and yeah, top lane is just being dominated really hard here, and not the way Lycan wants to, with the Helm of Dominator. Now this is dominated by Lina Clockwork.
Oh, rotation from Annihilate ends up finding Clockwork. And we'll just be pushed back by the Cog, so can't really make a play there initially. Trying to trap with the Wolves now as Monkeys, but Battery Assault making it difficult. Annihilate still wants this though. Gonna get the pushback, has the ultimate, but no, he's gonna be stunned by the LSA first. And the Laguna Blade not gonna be used just yet because he's out of mana, so Batrider will survive for the time being. But now Yuma, that's fine. There we go. Just got the mana and eventually gets the kill on a Batrider. So I had a feeling that was coming. And eventually the R button does hit.
Yeah, and Lina is just continuing to have a fantastic start here. This is looking very desperate on the off lane for Fart Studios. Didn't have mana at first, but finally getting enough for Laguna Blade as the Batrider came back and trying to look for that initiation.
Yeah, even BSJ teleporting in there to attempt to get it, but could not make the kill happen. So just naturally teleports back to the bottom lane. Continue his farm, but back up at the top lane, it's Silencer. He is a little too far up and will be run down. Oh my god, is he gonna live? He's actually gonna live as well. This is ridiculous. The support's still managing to survive on the side of DogJam. Annihilate. Well, for his sake, he doesn't die. Oh, the Wolves end up killing Giant though.
Yeah, nice micro there. And now they're trying to get Clockwork, but just goes for a TP out. Is it in time? It is.
Well, Lycan's going to be taken out, though. And with Clockwork away, Annihilate feeling pretty confident. Sunstrike's going to land? Yes, it lands, but it doesn't get the kill. Deafening Blast, still not enough damage. And he has some regen with the bottle charges, so almost a big play from Invoker. I mean, it did land, just not the damage needed.
Newsham with a clutch timing on that telekinesis. One auto attack from the Invoker, and that would have been a kill on the Batrider, but gets the lift just in time. Also has his mana boots now, as we see the 10-minute mark is about to come up. Both runes being controlled by the side of DogChamp, it seems like.
Clockwork now at the bottom lane with that smoke. They know Treant's down here. No one else currently, though, and Jenkins just going to be annoying. Nature's Grass, they want a dual kill.
Yeah, they have the Sunstrike. Yeah, just looking for that combo. Already level 5 on that Exort as well, so you don't need to do that much work killing whoever you duel. The Sunstrike will finish them.
Yeah, not going to get the chance, though. Jenkins a little too quick, so he'll survive. And just keeping that tier 1 bottom tower up. It's currently at full life. So Legion Commander instead off into the jungle and attempting to finish the Blade Mail. So didn't go the Falcon Blade. Is going to go phase boots into the blade mail for LC.
Yeah, the face boots are amazing here when you play against the Zoo. Very useful against Tyrion as well. And you get some armor for yourself, which is never bad, really. Probably a sensible build here. Some other stuff. People are getting all their level 6s as well, as the tomes have been used.
See Jenkins again doing what these treants do best, of just living in the trees. Trying to keep LC. I mean, LC's fine with it, so he's still getting plenty of CS.
This is what we see every time the Jenkins or pretty much anyone plays trio, right? You just park him on a lane and let him sit there and happily protect towers. And that's going to be hard for Legion Commander to pressure. Meanwhile, though, Fart Studios is setting up to push top. Fearing already TP'd behind.
Looking at the minimap, and yeah, I see all of a sudden the blue show up. They're like, wait a second, that's Furnace J. Wrath of Nature going to be used, spawn some trees, and all of a sudden Silencer walks right into him. So he's doing some damage here. The pullback from the Wandering Ripper. But Giant's going to survive, and now Teliana Gangster showing up with the TP. Monkeys in hot pursuit still. Has a shapeshift and letting the minions do the job of getting the kill. Lasso on to Legion Commander. Yuma missing his nuke. LSA will connect, but the damage is already done on LC, so he's taken out. Bloody Nine just going to throw the cogs out, blocking them back. Monkeys still has shapeshift. A couple more seconds, using it to run down the lane. This will be a big kill. The stun, the hookshot. No, it's going to be blocked, actually. But Monkeys out of shapeshift. The LSA connects. They get the kill, though, Adelina. And they're continuing to go for more. The overgrowth comes out from Jenkins. Sunstrike going to be flying out from Invoker before he dies. But 4 are dead on the side of Dogchamp right now. And a TP out from Annihilate.
Yeah, I mean, Giant is here, but he has to be careful. He's completely outnumbered, even though he has his tier 2 tower. Can't be too confident as Silencer here. Fantastic fight for its studios there. Exactly what you need to have happen. And good play by BSJ as well, going behind there with the treants summoning.
You see, they're still hanging around. I mean, Silencer, he has no clue that he is so close to dying right here, and now they're going to go. He is not going to commit an ultimate for this, though. He'll throw out his curse and last word, but that will be the end of Silencer. So they hang around long enough to also kill Silencer again.
Jenkins goes, we're still here after they kill him.
That's good.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, look at this replay. I mean, the overgrowth all of a sudden hitting too. I mean, Jenkins showing up and lighting that. That's what really did it in their favor. That was quite. I mean, they're diving a tier 2 tower in the trees. That was a very big commitment by Fart Studios, but obviously it works out.
Yeah, it wasn't too punished. And oh wow, Clockwork finds Rubik, and they also pair it up with the Sunstrike. Quick and easy kill.
Yeah, that's that classic combo. I caught that on my screen. It was a hook shot jump into the cog trap, and yeah, there's nothing you can do to survive if you're Rubik there.
Yeah, bottom tower now. They're trying to get this tier 1 tower kill. Through the living armor.
That's annoying. It's like you're hitting it so much. It's like, why is the life going down? Oh no, LC. Overgrowth purges with that pressing attack. Azul, finally, we're going to see it. I think this is the first one of the game. Global Silence is also going to be used and absolutely securing that Batrider kill. So victory for LC, the first one. Chase continues.
Bloody Nine might go down here if he's not careful. Gonna back up and get healed by Legion, so keeping him safe. Mid lane, meanwhile, Furin in trouble.
Oh, that was Global Science stolen by Rubik, by the way. I was a little confused there for a second. I'm like, wait, we just heard that. But manages to steal Global Silence. That's not an ability you usually see it get on Rubik, but gets it. Doesn't matter there, though.
Yep, I mean, it's pretty nice, though, because now he can keep that spell if he wants to. Oh, he actually gets an even nicer one. Gets the level 4 overwhelming odds. That's really nice in the hands of Rubik, with the extra spell amp as well.
I'm so confused how he even stole Global Silence. That feels like one of those abilities he just shouldn't be able to steal.
Yeah,
Especially
usually
this
not. It's quite rare.
LC, speaking of those overwhelming odds, he uses it against him, but to press the attack, he's going to get away for now. And with backup nearby, he's going to be fine. In fact, they want to turn this on the side of Dogchamp, it looks like. Lena coming in. There's the hook shot, and that's a dead Rubik, absolutely. He tries his best to fight them off, but Yuma shows up and Let the damage rain from the skies. Yuma's sitting on 3,300 gold, by the way.
Yeah, I think Yuma has had a really good game so far. His impact is very nice. He's made some good moves already this early on in the game, showing his understanding. The move mid there earlier, bringing down the Furion, sorry, not Lone Druid. And yeah, he has 3.6k gold right now, unspent. Going for a Lincoln's first, it seems. Very strong here against the Batrider, at least.
Yeah. Classic counter to the Batrider. I'll keep looking back at Invoker too, though, as speaking of Batrider, he is going to go lasso on a Clockwork and secures that kill, making good use of the Flame Break there, and picks up the Arcane Rune before LC can get to it, so
Yeah,
nice snag there.
Clean little solo kill. Nice that he pushed him out of the cogs using his flame break, and then runs up, gets the lasso. It is just a support hero, so you can go like, is it really worth Batrider lasso this solo kill? But this early on in the game, you might as well just get a kill and then quickly go jungle, keep accelerating your farm, and he's working towards a BKB. Once he has that, he'll be a lot more confident in these fights.
Yeah, especially when you're going up against so much counter to the ability. As you mentioned with the LC, you have the silencer. Like, they have ways to deal with lasso in bigger team fights. So yeah, if you have that solo kill chance, even on support, I think it's very valid to do that there.
Bottom Treant just trying to protect against the Legion, who's pushing alone. Meanwhile, the rest of Dogchamp are invading here. We might see a skirmish in the jungle here.
Global Silence is ready, though. Giant gonna curse. Not using it yet. He's being bursted down. He gets the Global Silence off right before death, but Shapeshift already used by Lycan and now in pursuit. Annihilate, we mentioned no lasso. Let's use it earlier, however, not gonna be needed apparently. Double kill for Monkeys Forever on the Lycan, and he's hunting for more. Lena's a little too fast, though. That'll be it.
Monkeys is so good at playing a lot of these micro heroes. It's funny, he's not even a Lycan spammer, but he plays it so nicely. The laning stage was pretty horrible against Lina, and now he's having so big impact overall just across the map. The moves he makes, it's good, man. It's so nice to see Fart Studios after he joined, because I really feel like they're playing so much better.
Yeah, they certainly has been a nice addition to the team. I was noticing the progression being made on BKBs, and sure enough, Invoker does finish his. I believe Batrider's got to be close. Yeah, it looks like it's coming out for Batrider. So both sides, they're getting that BKB timing. That's for 18 minutes here. Speaking of timings, the Illusion Rune going to be picked up by Lina, and it goes right into the Roshan pit with it.
Oh yeah, they can go for it. Reverse the attack as well. The Illusion Rune to tank up for a while, then Italiano gonna go in. Do they know? I don't think they realize.
No. They definitely do not know. And yeah, there's that pressing attack. He's actually going to use it on himself, but either way, it's going to be an easy Roshan kill, because yeah, it's Far Studios nowhere nearby, and that of course is the Aegis for Lina. And that's a great pickup there too, the blink on Legion Commander for Dogchamp. They have a really good timing now.
Yeah, now they can get more value out of the Invoker as well, because max level Exort has that big Sunstrike and Blink on Legion, allowing him to start the fights. And with Blade Mail as well, that should be enough to kill pretty much any hero with the Sunstrike as well.
Yeah, it feels like it. Maybe we might see an attempt soon. In fact, a great targeted Lycan. No duel even needed, because Legion Commander busy going the other way thanks to the lasso. And Laguna Blade was stolen by Nusham. Ends up taking out the LC with it. However, Treant's also caught to the left and ends up being a 2-for-1 for Dogchamp, but able to snipe out the LC at least for Bart.
Yeah, they get a consolation prize, but still not too bad of a fight for the side of Dogchamp there. They're definitely happy with it in top lane. Just a bit of a skirmish. Furium's gonna TP out, but he did have to use his BKB for it.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of heavy priority on BKB, specifically on Far Studio side. It makes sense against, obviously, what they're up against between Invoker and Lina.
Yeah, but there's still the hookshot and the duel that pierce the BKB,
Sure.
so yeah, you have BKB now, but there are still tools against you.
Lane, they get the tower kill. Overgrowth, a very kind of defensive overgrowth, we'll call it. From a distance, Lycan though, pops Shapeshift. He's like, let's turn defense into offense. Gonna go for the kill on a Clockwork, using the minions to make the job. He's gonna hookshot away, it's not gonna matter, but the duel's up.
Boy.
But the duel victory for Lycan. That was an ambitious play there by LC.
The level 2 stolen Laguna Blade comes in for a duel victory.
Didn't even blade mail right there either. Yuma, he is going to get the Laguna Blade himself off on a Batrider, but dies, and Shapeshift will be wearing off soon. So, yeah, it's going to be retreat time now for Fart Studios, it looks like, and that'll be it for that exchange. Well, we're in the slight pause right here. Let's take a look at the odds, by the way. Thanks to esportsbet.io. And you do see it is a decent favoring for Dog Champ. Of course, this game, somewhat even, but I believe that might be serious odds, but overall in their favor.
Yeah, overall, but yeah, this is looking a little bit rough for some of the start that they're having on Dogchamp, getting that dual victory over on the Lycan, who already hit so hard. Going for an Assault Cuirass has, half of the components finished for it now. I think he could be a big factor again this game. Monkeys Forever has been extremely useful ever since he joined Fart Studios here as a stand-in.
Obviously I'm going to poke a little fun at Italiano Gangster, great player, but it is kind of funny seeing a player on the other team having more dual damage than the LC.
Oh boy.
It's
yeah, true. I thought he got the second duel earlier, but he didn't get that one.
No.
Yeah.
Still sitting on 10. 18 for Lycan, thanks to the talent that was picked up later by LC right there. So a bit awkward. But anyways, LC looking to make up for that, and they're they're going to clash here for sure. Who's going to jump first? It will be the LC. Gets a duel off. Global Science as well, and that Rubik is 100% dead. So there's a dual victory coming out for Italiano Gangster. Now Monkey's already at half life. He needs to run. The army is doing damage to Yuma, but there is no follow-up to it. Jenkins also picked off, and the army of Lycan is cleared out other than the Black Dragon.
Yeah, that was really nice connection there. They almost brought down the Lycan as well. They just didn't have Disable to keep him in place. But yeah, that kind of worked out in their favor, just the smoke and the way they connected there on the high ground. Top lane we see Invoker trying again. Whenever he sees the Furin, he's just using all his stuff on him.
A pretty good strat. I mean, certainly a very annoying hero, as we've seen so many times, especially in that position 1 role. Teleporting all throughout the map and pushing lanes.
Monkey's in trouble.
LC's also pretty annoying. Monkeys is in a lot of trouble, and I don't think this is a duel Lycan's winning. That's a duel that LC is winning.
Yeah.
He's got 56 damage now.
Certainly don't have more dual damage than her anymore. 46 dual damage in just like 2 minutes. Not even 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, because he just got level 2 as well during that. After the first exchange there. So yeah, really enhancing, and it might even get better. No, he doesn't have another duel, of course. But he's going to use that damage to help assist for a kill at least. Although I Annihilate making it difficult. BKB running through the trees.
Oh boy.
Yeah, everyone's on him though. Everyone but Clockwork, and it's more than enough damage.
Nowhere is safe. It feels like Dog are just moving a little bit more efficiently across the map and mobilizing their heroes the way they join and find each other on the map. It's just nice to watch. Like, they play such effective reaction Dota, but they also are anticipating some of the moves sometimes.
Oh, Jenkins and BSJ both applied a lot of pressure to this tier 2 bottom. I guess even the Black Dragons here. So from Lycan, and look at this TP support though. Oh, RCY, the great opener, using everything as mentioned on the Nature's Prophet. He gets the Force Staff away, but the LC duel is out on Rubik, and the Sunstrike to guarantee the victory. Now Jenkins, they spotted him. He's gonna go for the TP out. He should be fine. Yeah, he will escape.
He's gonna be completely fine. The fact that they're catching this many heroes on the side of Dogchamp before they get like late near on Lina is very alarming, because down the road he will eventually have that item probably. And looks like he's gonna go for... He wanted Hurricane Pike, but I think he swapped it into Crystallis instead, just going Daedalus. On the side
I don't think he even knows. He's all over the place. He's back to Hurricane Pike, so...
Yeah, he's changing his mind all the time here.
Yeah. It's one of those. He's kind of clicking through items, while thinking it out, maybe talking it over with the team. And
now he's landed. He's decided. Hurricane Pike it is.
Yeah.
Good item against the Sprouts. Also pretty nice for just trying to get away from Lycan.
And this bottom tier 2 tower is going to fall. Should. Living Armor. That's a different idea in mind, but it's inevitable. Invoker at the top lane. It's going to be spotted. Lasso connects. Global silence used, though. BKB is going to be committed as a result, including RCY, who continues to run. And with the TP support coming in, including the Legion Commander, the duel's up. Overgrowth used, but the meatballs raining down from the skies. I don't think it was a victory, but either way, it's a kill. Well, actually, definitely not a victory. He died first. But either way, you take out the bat right there. Laguna Blade used to snipe out the Black Dragon. He says I might as well.
Yeah, mate, just use it. Just click it. Meanwhile, Clockwork going behind almost connects the hookshot onto Monkeys Forever here.
Yeah, that was actually a great dodge by Monkeys there, anticipating it, but he's still being run down, but hey, obviously Clockwork by himself can't do this, yeah. Uh-oh.
Just a bit too far away. If Lina was closer, maybe you could get a kill, especially if he had Gleipnir, but he's just gonna TP out now, stay safe, and Monkeys Forever takes back his farming territory. Oh, actually,
and with the TP out, yeah, Lina TPing out kind of pretty much secured the death on Clockwork there, because they saw Lina TPing out, they're like, okay, yeah, let's just go kill the Clockwork now.
Yeah, nice, easy pickings for them.
And tips as well, so trying to rub it in against Bloody Nine.
Roche being controlled a little bit here, both teams. They want to have vision on when Roche spawns. Only 45 seconds remaining.
Lina bottom lane. Mentioned the Hurricane Pike, and already another almost 3,000 gold saved up, so Satanic is now queued up next. Scython Invoker's also coming. He's got an ultimate orb, but we have an idea as that's going to be his next item as well. That with the Blink, always a very deadly combo.
Yeah, I like the combo for sure. Going for Hex here, I like it a lot. Just add more burst. Also, Blink will help you get close enough to that duel and drop down potentially the Meteor, which is really nice. Just a ton of burst damage. And just to reposition a little bit, I think it's a great build coming out from RCY this game.
Is under attack.
RCY with the Forged Spirit sent out. Oh my god, he just I didn't even think he intended that, but ends up hitting the Silver Edge used Nature's Prophet and then actually gets out, so well played.
Yeah, thought it was his sentry at first, but no, that was Radiant sentry.
Yeah. A little lucky there, I suppose, but either way, he's fine. But how about this? Fart Studios, I mean, they can kill this Roshan fast, and they are showing it.
Yeah, they're gonna bring it down before there's any real reaction, even though they're close on the side of Dogchamp. No way to stop that one.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Observer even showing there that the lack of vision from Dogchamp, despite being so close, they really didn't have the idea that it was actually happening, that committed at least. And thus, Fart Studios takes it. So, I mean, that's got to feel great for them, considering they are a little bit behind right now. So, managed to take the Aegis and got the shards as well, of course. Looks like Lycan is given the shards, so those wolves going to be summoned.
Yeah, he's gonna use it for himself and going for a BKB next. I think that's very important for him. Against this Invoker and the Clockwork and the Lina, you're just struggling to move the way you want to and do the stuff that you need to in this game on Lycan. So probably doesn't want to fight at all until he has the full BKB completed. Dogchamp though, they want to take a fight.
Well, there's no one to really fight at the bottom lane is the issue. They're all at the top lane on the set of Fart Studios. That TP was actually canceled right there.
Yeah, the rocket. He knows it's too dangerous to TP in there. He would just have been immediately grabbed, so good choice to not go there. And now both teams are mounting a bit of a base race. Going high ground. This is a game of chicken. Who's gonna turn?
Well, Alacrity was stolen by Rubik. Speaking of that, of course, Lita's also got Alacrity, and you just see how much damage he's already doing, but this is a massive army up here at the top lane, so I mean, I think Fart Studios certainly is feeling pretty good about this right now.
Yeah,
and especially when you throw the living armor.
Yeah, I think they're faster. Lina hits really hard as well, but they already took territory tower. Here comes the defense.
Hook shot whiffing right there, unfortunately, for the side of Dogchamp, and thus far SJ is able to get the backup to retreat, and after that bit of a base race, we have no kills happening, and everyone's gonna just get back and defend. But yeah, the living arm, I mean, it was adding up to be like, yeah, Fart Studios should have the faster here, and they were.
Yeah, if they didn't have living armor, they would have lost bottom tower, but now, because of that, Jenkins can start repairing, get that to full. And it was a good read on the map overall. I think the next fight could be tricky for them, even though they have Aegis right now. That will time out in 2.5 minutes, and Lina is looking so strong with the Lincolns and Titanic Hurricane Pike. She'll be so hard to kill.
Yeah, she is massive right now. Level 21,
Oh,
so has
Invoker.
her level 20 talent. Invoker trying to make a play, but yeah, the BKB on Nature's Prophet.
I thought he had a Hex. He gets the Hex delivered now. Yeah, when I saw it blinking, I thought they had Hex in inventory already, but it was just not quite complete yet.
I wonder if he did as well. It was coming out, but wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
So.
At least now his kill potential is insane with a completed Hex, and that's gonna make it harder to show and split push the way they want on heroes like Nature's Prophet who want to play big map. You can get punished by that Travels Invoker with BKB and Hex Blink. Scary times.
Well, bit back to farming in the jungle. I mean, again, we have an Aegis still on this Nature's Prophet for another minute 30, but as far as Studios, obviously they didn't make a play. They pushed that top tier 3 tower, and they did get it, so in a sense, certainly made use of the Aegis so far, but I don't know if they're going to necessarily make another play with it for the time being. It seems like they're playing fairly safe, just kind of letting Nature's Prophet do his thing, and now defending top lane as well. Oh, that's a bait. The bait with the illusion.
Aye.
Not a lot was used, I guess, but...
Yeah, it just sucks a little bit. You reveal everyone and you used your Hex. It's not really like a massive cooldown, but there's time that Fart Studios are split pushing right now.
And Invoker, realizing, as pointed out, what Nature's Prophet's doing, has to deal with that, and of course, Invoker's good at that.
And Nature's Prophet has his own Hex now. He's just completing it right now. So he can also start catching people off guard a little bit.
Mid lane, they thought they had a jump on Lena. Unfortunately, did not have as good of a jump as they hoped for. I annihilate the return damage just there, and he is taken out. Couldn't get the lasso off effectively. That
Invoker got the
Lincoln's
Hex.
causing issue. RCY, there's that Hex coming out. And the meteor's raining down, so Rubik's dead, and they want more. They're hunting still for more, and Jenkins, but
Radiant's middle tower
a little too fast.
I like the Shadow Blade on Italiano. Look, he's gonna try and catch bottom as well.
Got him. Oh, why would he Sunstrike first? I guess Vision.
Yeah, just Vision. He didn't have Blink yet.
Oh, there we go.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Winner, winner.
But yeah, I like the Shadow Blade and the Blink in combination because they can really allow you to find those initiations a little bit easier. Lina cracking high ground, getting that tier 3 tower. They didn't get the bottom tier 3 earlier, but they are taking mid fast.
And look at bottom. Look at Invoker's gonna force the BKB out at least. He's doing a lot of damage. It's not gonna kill him, but he has to regen. Now, Jenkins obviously instantly bought back there. That wasn't a rage buyback. I mean, he definitely had every right to, especially with the living armor presence, but trying to save from that push that was happening. Obviously not the case. They take on mid tier 3 as well as the racks, and he will start healing up that bottom one once again, but
Walker on the hunt,
and it-
gets a hook shot. He could be available
Lycan.
for Lycan.
it is not using it yet. He realizes he has to, though, so he might kill Clockwork, but he wants to run. He will get the kill, but it's going to come at a cost. That BKB is going to wear off in a second, especially with that down. No chance to survive. So no victory, but the kill's what matters. Wicked sick indeed.
That's a painful one going down to Lina. Almost lost dual damage as well there to Legion with the Laguna Blade if it was just a second faster there.
I mean, you look at that Lena now, the net worth. It's obviously Yuma's been having a great game and been feeling it, but that net worth is really growing. He's got quite the gap. 27K, 5K more than his teammate.
Yeah, it's looking like Dogchamp are just very dominantly controlling here, and they've just been finding Fart Studios a little bit more, catching them off guard whenever they're alone or in bad position. And now Fart Studios are all sitting bottom, looking for a big play.
RCY.
You know, Invoker's going in.
There's the big play. The catch is there. The global silence, but the press the attack will save him. Again, LC's so much value in this game. The duel to follow it up on the bat runner. They get the free kill. Nature's Prophet's like, yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Not much more I can do. But his teammates falling, Rubik included. It seemed like, I mean, that was a chance for Fart Studios, but the saves are just too strong.
Yeah, the saves are already too strong, and they're gonna keep getting stronger as they have Lincolns on Lina, Lincolns on Invoker, and building a Lincolns on the Legion Commander as well. Going for the Dog Champ Classic here, I'm gonna call it, because they did this before. Just stacking a bunch of Lincolns against these single targets like Lasso and Telekinesis, and even the Hex from Fury.
They really do use this item more than anyone else, it feels like. And
I think
it's
so.
so good. That and Lotus Orb, yeah, it just proves to be the answer every single time. So, yeah, for Fart Studios, it's a game that's become a very, very difficult task now. He's been pinged out, by the way, up here. Yeah, he's under the Tinker Ward.
Surely he's gonna
BSJ's
TP
up
out,
here.
right? Surely he's gonna leave. He won't greed.
He's greedy.
Oh boy.
You gave him a little bit of hope. It's like kind of poking him a little bit, like, you're gonna get out, right? No.
Surely. The room bottom as well has been pinged out by Silencer, so that's available. And Roshan will spawn in 20 seconds from now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Dog Champ, I'm sure, gonna position for that. They don't have any vision on the Roshan pit, but
Oh my
They
god,
are-
Lina with the rune shredding top.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
yeah, that tower just disappears. Again, Dog Champ, we'll see how kind of disciplined they are, you could say, as Jenkins is gonna get caught bottom lane. Remember, he bought back earlier, so he's out for 70 seconds. No living armor. That's probably the cue, actually, to just, you know what, let's just push. Don't worry about Roshan. Let's just go for the victory here, right now. The victory on the duel. Is it gonna happen?
So
Yes,
fast.
it is.
Oh my
It
god, the damage.
shreds, and that's probably it. I mean, there's no buybacks.
Yeah, no, there's no way. They lost. This is, I mean, they're gonna try to fight, but
Playing for stats now, and Dog Champ's like, thank you very much. We'll take that. Well,
And-
GGs are officially called.
and that pushes Fart Studios then down into the lower tiebreaker. So we're gonna have that four-way tiebreaker, right, Breaky?
Well, what did I say yesterday when we were talking about possibilities? You know, be careful what you wish for. Well, we got what was wished for, I suppose, in a sense. We got a four-way tiebreaker, which will set up for a very interesting day tomorrow for sure. What a game, though. What a series. And obviously, what a performance by Dog Champ. I mean, this is a team in so many different ways as well. I really want to stress that and how they won. Like, they went undefeated here. And it wasn't just complete stomps the whole way through. Like, this game one of this series, for example, they show that they could also persevere and come back. But, I mean, we'll definitely break this down a bit more. But to help us do so, we'll be joined by Natty as well as Gods once again. So welcome back, team.
Thank you so much. And it's a very valid point that you bring up there, Breaky. I mean, the versatility of Dog Champ, it is phenomenal. This game, number 2, again, there seemed like there was fighting spirit in Fart Studios. It seemed like there was potential gods. They had some great fights, I'd say around the 12, maybe up to the 20-minute mark, and then it just was nothing left in the tank for them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, again, came off like some really solid drafts. So I still have hope for this team going into the tiebreakers tomorrow, especially when 3 of the 4 teams advance. I think their understanding of how to draft and play is solid. It just comes down to some of the execution issues. And, you know, I think they were trying to force some of these fights, but definitely bringing in Monkeys has kind of rejuvenated the team a bit. They look overall much better with him in the off lane. They just, you know, playing a team like Dog Champ, who is so good at punishing those small little mistakes and making them seem like huge screw-ups when, against most teams, you're going to get away with them.
Yeah, sometimes you can fumble the bag a little bit here or there, but Dog Champ know how to capitalize. When we heard them last time in an interview, they talked about how they thought their biggest strength was the map movement, being able to control a lot of the map, and that is what I would say was so predominant here in game number 2, Waga.
Yeah, I think so, and a lot of that comes to the pick-off that they drafted. This game, they decided to go for that Legion Commander, which I thought was a perfect fit for the draft. It countered out the Batrider, it's good against the Furion, it helped, you know, secure that Lina even more. And not just the picks, but also the way they itemize, prevent them from being picked off the same way. These Lincoln Spheres were really useful for them, for instance.
Very much. Sorry, Ricky?
That was just my kind of just genuine reaction to like the Lincoln Spirit, as we were even talking about on the cast there. I mean, yeah, this team is so good at adapting and clearly just on another level, frankly, than these other Division 2 teams. So it'll be fun to watch them going into Division 1. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I'm excited to see how they perform.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be the last time we see Dog Champs, so we can get ahead of ourselves now. Like, they're not going to be playing anymore here in Division 2. We will be seeing them in a couple weeks' time in Division 1. And to do in such a fantastic fashion, to go undefeated here, literally not even a single game lost, is such a massive confidence boost for them. The scoreline, the leaderboard here, the scoreboard here for game number 2, everyone has amazing scorelines, but the one that stands out the most is RCY on Invoker, 12-1-11. The itemization from him, the hero damage coming out from him. How much more can we really hype him up, gods?
I feel like every single series before and after they're playing, we're super hyped to watch him. There's a lot of chatter, I think, around him as maybe one of the future for NA Dota. Like, this is a region that doesn't grow many new young talent. I think he's one of the players who's starting to make a name for himself. He's got a great name to go with it. Whenever he messes up, you get the RCYs in Twitch chat too. So he's got everything he needs to be a star. Twitch chat's gonna love this guy. But yeah, 12-1-11. His Invoker's amazing. His Pango. I think the one thing so far that his only not even limitation really, but the one thing I've noticed is hero pool wise, it's smallish hero pool. If you look at his Dota buff, he's playing competitive, but he's a new player. He hasn't been around as long, so I think naturally over time he's gonna expand that hero pool and become an even better player.
Yeah, it's just insane to see the amount of potential that they can do so well with such a, minute sort of downfall. It speaks volumes to where Dog Champ really are going to be going. And Bricky, you said you didn't want to get ahead of yourselves, but you can now. Let's talk a little bit more just about this Dog Champ in general. I want to hype them up. I want this to be the last thing a lot of the teams, a lot of viewers sort of remember about Dog Champ here in Div 2 before they go to Div 1.
A team that, again, they're willing to adapt to what's needed. Their drafting is strong. They're not afraid to pick up their mid hero in the first 2. There's so many things that just really do stand out, at least in the Division 2 presence about this team, that I think will translate well into Division 1. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, they're gonna take everything over in Division 1, but I certainly would not be surprised if this team does at least pick up some map victories, let alone some series victories up there.
Yeah, for sure. We also have to briefly touch on Fight Studios because this loss here does mean that they are going to be in that 4-way tiebreaker for relegation. I say 4, like no one wants it, right? So I should be saying a 4-way tiebreaker to try and stay here. Very briefly, Waga, what do you think was the big downfall in this series?
In this series, I mean, has to go. I think after the first game, they probably tilted a bit. They had that game, they had that massive lead, and they didn't manage to translate that into a bigger advantage and taking the win. So I think after that, it was probably very hard, but it was execution ultimately was the biggest thing for them that was lacking.
Yeah. Okay. Try to stay calm. We can talk about it a little bit more, but for now, winners interview. We do have RCY joining us, the player that we have been hyping up all tour. I mean, we got to say, RCY, first of all, congratulations. You guys go undefeated, but also you are on the radar of so many people right now. You've had a phenomenal performance here in Division 2. And, how does it feel? What do you have to say about that one? Like, were you expecting to go undefeated?
Yeah, it was like, after Legacy was disqualified, it was like a easy 7-0.
Just an easy 7-0 after Fel. I love it. I'm going to let the other guys ask the questions, but first I just want to know, do you have any words for any potential new fans of RCY out there? Anything you want to say for them?
I don't know.
All right, I'll let you think about it when the others are asking questions, Mark, if you have any.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I want to say I've definitely enjoyed watching you a lot. My favorite role myself is playing that mid lane, and I think you're, always looking for outplays, always looking to get the most of an edge. So, I want to ask you a question for the mid lane. Which hero do you think is the most satisfying to outplay an opponent with on mid? What's your go-to hero that feels the best when you dominate a lane with it?
It has to be Pango. It's fun using your ult and being creative with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've played quite a bit of Pango. Fun to see you. You played Pango against Ember and dominated that. You played Ember against Pango, dominated that. So, I mean, you've shown that you have good understanding of it. And Pango is one of those tricky heroes that can surprise a lot of people, right? With outplay. So, I like that answer. That's really all I have. So that's my only question. Only mid.
Breaky, if you want to go.
Oh, go ahead, Berkey.
All right, I'll go next. Well, a couple of questions. First one being, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Start there.
Favorite flavor? It has to be cookies and cream. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. I like that choice. Well, one of my favorite, at least. Cookie dough fan myself, but cookies and cream pretty good too. All right. As far as we've been talking about, again, hyping you up for good reason. You've been playing so well. Your team has been playing very well too, but you've certainly stood out. Have you been feeling more pressure as this season has gone on here in Division 2 because of the noise, or are you just, are you playing your game and you're not letting that pressure get to you?
I'm just playing consistently. I'm not too pressured at all, knowing that I think I'm going to do fine against them. Yeah.
I mean, you certainly did do more than fine. You did fantastic. So your team tends to draft your hero, not necessarily in this game, but a lot of the time we pointed out that they draft your hero with that second pick, even with a Pango, the Ember, whatever it is. Is that just speak to your confidence? Are you just that confident on those heroes? Would you rather have your hero picked later, or that just doesn't bother you?
It just counters like what they're picking. And they ask me like what hero I want to play, and I just say the final word on it. If I'm feeling
so it's your choice. You just call out a hero, whatever you're feeling, and you play it. I mean, I love that, and obviously Invoker this game was certainly the right call, so it's fun to watch. No, you're a great player. You're fun to watch, and I look forward to seeing you in Division 1. So best of luck up there.
Thank you.
I had a few last questions here from myself. Maybe Nat does too, but I wanted to ask about, with the major coming up, I think it starts tomorrow, are there any specific mid players that you're going to be watching to kind of learn from and get inspiration from, and just in general, like who are the mid players you like to watch the most when it comes to trying to improve as a player?
I would say Quinn. I've been watching him play and learn from him a lot. Helped me get better.
Nice. I must be sad that he's no longer playing in NA. Who are your rivals these days in NA pubs when it comes to the mid lane?
I don't really have any rivals. Just any mid players in general.
You dominate anyone who's brought in front of you. I love that answer.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I do have one more question before we do let you go. But in DogChamp, I want to know a little bit more about team comms when it comes to drafting. Like, who is doing the main drafting for you guys, and then in the game, who is doing a lot of the shot calling or the leading about map movements and map rotations?
Everyone contributes for the draft, but Blood9 has the final say on it, and the heroes, the players have the say on heroes and the strats for B9, and the calls in game. It's just everyone.
Okay.
Mostly Yumo.
Awesome. I love to hear it. Asibai, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again, undefeated, and for going up to Division 1. I look forward to seeing what DogChamp can do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Bye. I love it. I love hearing who his inspiration was, his favorite ice cream flavor, and also the fact that the team works so well with everyone having what feels like a pretty equal input. Even if Bloody9 does have the final say, it's really cool to see that you can have such fine team cohesion with everyone still saying their piece and being able to have a bit of an input, gods.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a sign that they've got like a very healthy dynamic there. I think gone are the days of 5-6 years ago where you had these captains who basically ruled like dictators. Yeah, the PPD EG. This is not even to flame PPD. That's just like the way I think teams functioned more back then, where you had these leaders and captains who are like the one voice who got to decide the picks, make all the calls in games. Now every time you interview players about who's making the calls, there'll be like one or two who do it more than others, but it's so often you hear, this player, like whoever's strong, when the carry play hits their item timings and they're strong, they're going to make calls. If the offlaners, hits the blink timing, they're making calls. So it really is, I think, players evolving over the years and realizing like it needs to always be a team effort. You can't just have one player, commanding the troops.
Yeah, I mean, the game itself is forever evolving, so it's amazing to hear that teams and players are the exact same in how they run and how they play. But that's it. That was our last series for the regular part of NA Div 2 DPC. We can have a look at our leaderboard and we can highlight what tiebreakers will be happening, because DogChamp undefeated in games and in series there. 7 wins. Felt not as clean of a scoreline. They do have 2 losses to their name, but 5 wins. They are our 2 teams going up to Division 1. There is no changing that. It is a massive congratulations to both of them. Then it is Ant in a nice, clean 3rd place. But my oh my, wouldn't you have it? C-Dub, The Cut, Fart Studios, and Penguin Squad. 4 teams in here. Literally half of our bracket are all on the same scoreline. 3 wins, 4 losses. And the only other team that stands out with their scoreline is Eternity, who are the complete inverse of DogChamp, unfortunately. 7 losses, but did get 1 game win yesterday if you're an Eternity fan and want to have a look at that one. But our tiebreakers will be a 4-way best of 1 tiebreaker. I had to wrap my head around that one. And our schedule for tomorrow is as shown here on the graphic. Starting off at 12 p.m. Fart Studios versus Penguin Squad. Then it will be C-Dub up against The Cut. The 2 remaining series will be, I believe, winner of the first, loser of the second, and then the inverse for the 4th. I hope that makes sense. I'm really trying here.
It's a small double elimination tournament. I think it's.
Yes, I got it wrong anyway. It's loser of match 1 up against winner of match 2. So
you're actually both wrong. It's single elimination.
I don't know what I'm saying. Who knows what's happening?
Okay, I'm gonna come in here.
No, I was wrong. It's loser versus loser.
versus
Yeah, loser versus loser.
guys. Because it's one team that gets eliminated. So you do.
Yeah.
But I
First
thought we
you
were
have them
playing
play
all of
against
them.
each other.
I thought we had to, play all of them because it's still based off. You still
Just
need
have
to
them
know
play
all
auto
the.
chess.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Anyway, everyone's gonna be playing
I love the
tomorrow. Those
chaos.
4 teams. Yeah. It literally is chaos because I know that we need to figure out who is being relegated, but all the other placings matter as well. So
They get decided
4-way
too, though, with that system.
Yes. Okay. I will believe you. I'm not going to do the math here. I blindly believe Wog. I wholeheartedly put 110% into everything Wog is saying. So, yeah, you should have gone through that graphic, Wog. I should have handed that one straight over to you.
Yeah, it's really quite simple. It's a fast system, though, that's used in group stages as well. Sometimes it makes for just a faster group stage, less games played, but still you get to find out who's the strongest, who's the weakest, and who's in between.
Yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, losers. That's all that matters here. That's all we care about to find out who's being relegated tomorrow in our 4-way tiebreaker. Before we do close out today, though, I want to give esportsbet.io a shout out. They are our sponsor here for the NA DPC. They have an exclusive $100 risk-free bet. So if you are an NA DPC fan, you have the chance to get 100 USDT worth of crypto back if you lose your first bet. You can join esportsbet.io now. If you want more information, you can join their Discord. The link is below in PGL's Twitch channel panels. And closing out today, I got to ask, bold predictions, right? Who is the one team going to be relegated? I need to know now from you guys so everyone else knows how to flame you for tomorrow. You know, I've got to do my research on how to flame you. So if you want to start us off, gods.
It's tough. I feel like the team who's overall been the weakest is hit like a bit of a hot streak recently. That's Penguin Squad. So, you know, the fact they just beat Felt gives me a little more hope in them, but I still think they're the weakest team out of these four.
Okay. They're sitting right there on the borderline. What about yourself, Breaky?
Well, let me just start off with saying I'm just excited and glad that nothing else is going on in the Dota world tomorrow, and all the eyes will be on these tiebreaker matches. So that's awesome. Nothing else is happening. But Penguin Squad certainly has to be the team if you had to say a prediction. I mean, I am excited for, and I frankly hope they're not eliminated because I look forward to the future of this team, but we'll see.
We will see. And Waga, last but not least, who do you feel is going to struggle the most tomorrow?
I still think that it's Penguin Squad, honestly. I want to say something else. I want to be the one to be like, oh, you know, it's this guys. But no, I think Penguin Squad overall, they have been the most lackluster out of these teams. All the other ones have, you know, looked pretty promising at times. Penguin Squad, they had a lot of, you know, weak performances.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that is going to be it. I can't believe it. It was a shorter day today than expected. A nice 204 Dog Champ, obviously securing themselves, forcing this four-way tiebreakers, but I'm happy it's not done. I'm excited. I will be seeing you guys all tomorrow here on panel, and hopefully you guys in Twitch chat as well for these Div 2 tiebreakers. It's going to be starting nice and early. Don't forget, first game at 12 p.m., so we will see you guys then.